On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, 7th anniversary, 7 years. They have a special video for this even, 7 years of stuff. Man, there's a lot of stuff. All that stuff will bring you to tears, so we're going to talk about it. Hello, I'm Omega, and what brings me to tears is so many show notes. So many lucky bags. With me, as always, is Lucky. What brings him to tears is no T-Mat.
Oh, God, you just went for the jugular. Damn you. Anyway.
It's the first thing that popped in my mind. I was going to try to make some kind of alliteration joke with Tomo, but I'm like, no, that's not relevant right now. It's like tears, Tiamat, something.
Anyway, I hope everyone is enjoying Fate Grand Order, a.k.a. Ding Dong, 2 memes are dead. And while we here at Studio Mega like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for the JP&E version of this... Oh, God, excuse me. Gas. Ugh. We will be talking about current and future events with the JP&E version of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should prepare for a cold summer. Oh, man, fucking... Sorry. That was... Whew. You ever get one of those belches that that's like comes up but just gets caught somewhere and just hurts?
Yeah, no. It's a little spicy too, probably, because there's some stomach acid involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know. It's good.
Sorry about that. Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. We got the intro. And, yes, no, if you don't know what that's about, we'll explain on you later. But there's a lot of stuff. Some of you alluded in the comments last week. Also, yes, we had a show last week. Some of you didn't watch the show last week at all, either. But you should, because there's, like, other news that's unrelated in there that we're not going to go back and cover again. But in the comments last week, some people talked about, maybe we should have delayed the show or whatever. No, because I was there for the anniversary panel. It didn't end until 5:30 a.m. my time. And then that was Sunday, technically Sunday morning. So, no, this is fine. We get to talk about more stuff this way, because there's more news and more clarifications. But there was a lot of news and stuff, so hopefully you are ready for a big boy show today.
Yay!
Before we go any further, I would like to remind you this episode is brought to you by our patrons, like Anni Harp, Archetype 10, Plexo G, Carlos, Dragon, Ferris, Jeremy Vasquez, Just the Fae, Jonathan Sandoval, Legendary Boss, Antolene Custer, Richard Raptor, Razor, Kenji, Bro, Robin, Sharvor, Sean Pryor, Some Guy Named Bomb, 723, and Varen the Crow. If you like what we do, must do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. Get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it really helps us out. Thank you for support, everybody. Had to take a sip of water there.
Thank you.
But I think we've got, just nothing else to preamble on. We should probably jump into the bees.
Jump into the bees.
The bee's knees. Let me close that tab. The funny thing about doing the show is my tabs get smaller. But that means it's time for a check-in with everybody's favorite kohai, Mesh.
Senpai! 起きてください!
Because it's time for Wake the Fuck Up, Senpai, Wake the Fuck Up for Pro Tips! My pro tip for you this week is that OQ gives you a fun and Saint Quartz. Just do it.
Do it.
Help me, there's 5 pages of show notes. Somebody in the patron chat also had a solid selection. Also about OQ, do actually double check your support setups. Make sure you don't got your summer CEs anymore. It's been a few days. Some people might want those extra drops. But that does mean we can move swiftly on. And if you're like, where's the pro tips for all the new mechanics? Well, we'll explain to you stuff when we get to the... Trust me, I told you, 5 pages of show notes. It's a big list. It's very long. But that means it's time for moving on to our next segments. Record the Throne, our regular achievement topic. I do not have anything this week because I am not a lazy bum. I have been working very hard on lots of other things, and I have not yet finished leveling my Summer Murasaki. I think she's I got to level. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, that's fine. For me, this one isn't directly game-related, but I'm still very excited about it. So, my copy of Water Arco's new official art book arrived today. I ordered it from Play Asia. The shipping on it cost just as much as the actual book did. But I'm still like, huzzah! This thing's heavy, too. Holy shit.
Well, it seems to have arrived very solidly. How long ago did you order?
Oh, only maybe a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's a pretty good rate.
Yeah, no, I ordered it through Play Asia, and they usually seem to do pretty good business, so I'm probably gonna rely on them more. They said it arrived between I think they said the 3rd and the 8th, I think they said, and it arrived on the 5th. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, good job. They even gave me a little sticker. I was like, fuck yeah, extra bits.
Yeah, it's nice. Solid.
It is
know
solid.
That when I ordered my Millennium Puzzle Bandai model from Japan, that was Okay, it was a pre-order, but it's like, okay, it releases this time, you'll see it sometime. And I did.
Eventually. Yeah, no.
Be happy.
With this and Takeuchi's art book that I got, I need to build some new shelves. I really do. These things are way too like tall and heavy for like
heavy
what I got going on.
I understand.
So I'm like, nope. I'm gonna have to, do a raid on ye old Home Depot here probably tomorrow.
Sorry, no, I watched that video again lately. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go into YouTube and type in Final Fantasy Dungeon Intro Home Depot.
It's so accurate too.
Yeah, I've seen a couple for the meme comparisons, and yes, no, it's great. It's if you don't know the source, it's a drone shot that I think they filmed around Christmas of like flying into and over the store, but it's the fucking swooping aerial shot that's just so much like a video game dungeon intro. You play the music, it's hilarious. Okay.
And with that, we're going to move swiftly on to not Otherworld Evil, but damn close. This one is a little late, but I'm a little miffed, mostly at myself, a little at the game, because I only got 98 out of 100 missions done for the summer event. Now, I got all the quests done, I did all the other things, I didn't do the challenge quest, because I say fuck challenge quests, I don't want to hurt my brain.
And they're optional.
But the reason why I only got 98 out of 100 was because for the last half hour of the game, despite all the CEOs I can stick on it, I could not get a goddamn rare monster to drop. I was literally stuck out, I think it was like 29 out of 30 rare monsters for like a half hour. And I'm just all like, what the actual fuck is this?
That is a big oofus. Actually, I just realized I probably should have put something here. It's not as bad. I did get 100 missions done. I did not get any CE drops. Either CE.
Oof. I mean, I did get the day one. I was working at night, too, trying to get the night one. That probably would have...
And it would have helped, because I think that's the rarity one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dear Lasagna, less RNG mechanics, please. Well, I guess if you can get enough drops of the CE, you can get, like, a really good percentage up on those rare enemies, but still.
Yeah. Well, like I said, because basically my 98 mission was kill to 30, then I went and clicked, 9 hang. Actually, let me double check. Let me see if I can remember this fucking music. If I remember...
Claimed. I have dumped the YouTube video I watched recently on the patron chat. Another reason to support us on Patreon. You too can follow along with the meme
Oh, that's not the one I heard. The one I heard to always has the twinning in it, which I think is fucking hilarious.
The twinning video is also hilarious. By the way, also, if you probably have seen that meme somewhere on the internet, but you haven't, just go look. I think it's just like the twinning.mp3.
Oh, yeah.
The craziest thing was that YouTube immediately recommended to me, from one of the 14 fan festivals, an official music performance of the twinning meme. Complete with themed dancers.
Oh, yeah, no, I know this is completely off topic, but no, the Final Fantasy XIV development team pays real close attention to their community. And they know, and they're on board with all the fucking memes. It's hilarious. There's
several iterations of this meme, obviously, because it was Home Depot put out the tweet, like, I think Christmas last year. There you go, Axe has the GIF. Maybe this GIF starred? I should start this.
I do.
It's funny. I don't even know that much about 14, and I still, this is hilarious. One of my favorite Arma YouTubers / sometimes did, 2 videos in 14 that are hilarious. Did an Arma version of this, where he, stacked up, the Arma mod versions of, a Clone Trooper, a Halo Marine. I think there was an Aliens Colonial Marine in there, and just had him hang out and do all the dances. Great rigging work. Anyway, Ruby Spectre on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel like you've sufficiently communicated your grief to the internet about missing those 2 missions?
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about the other kinds of missions. Your master missions. And did you finish them? So, it goes a little something like this. To finish your master missions this week, you're going to need to defeat 3 good servants, defeat 3 evil servants, defeat 15 enemies with the Earth attribute, defeat 15 wild beast enemies, get 2 gems or monuments, statues through battle, or 4, and then 4, sorry, not or. 2, then 4 skill gems or statues through battle. If you already accomplished it, farming the event, you could have gotten, I think, all of these, but if you did not, your best bet is going to be, first of all, hit up good old Fuyuki. That'll get you the goods and evils in a few runs, and then what you want to do is the forest node in Orleans. What is that one called again? Is it Gillowood?
Let
me double check. But that one will get you the Earth and Wild Beasts you need. I believe that's the one with all the werewolves and Lancelot. Shadow Lancelot. No, it's Bordeaux. Okay. So yeah, go to Bordeaux. That will get you your enemies you need. And hopefully they drop gems. If not, do dailies. Shouldn't be too hard. Okay. All right. Hopefully that stays in the edit. Let's talk about the big one. FGO 7th anniversary from the 31st of July to the 10th of August. This is Skelegrams, by the way. It's time for the big one, so we're going to run through the news and other updates. First of all, the stream was great, even though it was in the middle of the goddamn night for us. We had a great time staying up with the lads, yelling about things. Go check out both my personal Twitter and the studio Twitter. I had a hard time deciding on which one to post what memes, but we threw a lot of stuff out there, and it was a great time. Space Nobu was there.
Oh my god, did you see that reminds me, I'm D-Round. Did you see the fucking artwork that fucking Paku made of that? That whole thing?
Probably, but...
Paco, excuse me. Basically, he drew fucking Nobunaga, Arjuna Alter, but gave him fucking Edison's hair and just gave him this. Actually, I'm just gonna go fucking look it up. What the hell am I talking? Why am I describing
Twitter.
it?
You can just go grab it.
I'm just gonna go grab it. You need to see this.
Internet.
And it's so great because
if you can't find this yourself, support us on Patreon. Check out the Patreon chat.
Yeah,
first of all, that's why I said I don't know because one, Paco is absolutely a madman, an utter lunatic, completely
wrong
based.
channel.
I mean, it's not the wrong channel, but it's not relevant. There you go.
Nobu made that his profile picture, by the way.
Of course he did. Well, and he worked with Paco on the costume too.
Oh yeah,
he's our It's so cool that obviously he does other roles Arjuna and Dante's were first for him, but he's also the male protagonist, so he just gets to be us.
I can't remember. Didn't he actually shout out Paco during the fucking stream?
Yeah, he called him out by name because he helped him with the costume. People were asking about him. He was like, Paco's going to help me with this. So, yeah, solid boy. But yeah, it was a great stream. You can check out the archive, I believe, on the official FGO YouTube channel. You can also see various other things there, including the 7-year recollection movie, which floors me every time.
Just thinking about how much we have done in these years, or will do.
Yeah,
I'm just
it's even for just us, I feel the 5 years, and then they go through the next 2 years, and I'm like, shit, we still got shit to do. Those little trailers and videos are always so great, but this one is such a direct line into why we play FGO, right? Because it's all kinds of flashbacks, and I don't think any real major limited time event is forgotten. It starts by talking about the really early cutscenes and stuff, and then it's hey, remember our first events? And shows fucking Halloween Liz, Artemis for moon viewing, shit like that. No, it's a very thorough flashback to all the things we've done and all that is left to do for us out here in NA. But yeah, it's a pretty good one. As usual, Nissan was there to deliver you many things. First of all, there's the usual big boy login bonuses, get stuff every day. Includes 3 million QP per day. Solid.
It's been that quick, I bet.
Yeah. They also introduced an SSR CE ticket. You can get 1 copy of Formalcraft Imaginary Round, Limited Zero Over, Kaleidoscope, Prismacosmos, Black Glare, or Volumen Hydrogyrum for free. I believe the main thing is that all of these CEs are now out of rotation, which is why it doesn't include some other ones. Though, they did, for one of these new banners, they did show off what the new 2030 is going to be. It is pretty cracked. Oh, yeah. It's 6 stars per turn and 2 levels of overcharge one time. And the art is rad. But yeah, so that's why you get those pick. A lot of people are like, woo, free K-Scope. But as memed as K-Scope is, the Black Grail is just as memed, honestly. It's an amazing CE, and if you don't have access to some of those others, like Formalcraft Imaginary Round, Limited Zero Over, those are great. Prismacosmos is great for certain builds, and so is Volumen, honestly. I'm very glad to have a couple copies of Volumen myself. It's a very fun CE that does fun things. And I think the next big update that we were given is we got serious engine overhauls. That's right, we're improving and modifying the battle system 7 years in. How do we fix quick, y'all? You just fix quick. It's that easy.
Yeah.
I know it sounds like I'm making a meme, but no, literally, how do you make quick better? You just make quick better. You don't introduce a unit to do it. Obviously, we don't know how much testing they had to do to figure out where the balance on this is, but we've got some very interesting buffs here. So, first of all, the quick card first card bonus is improved. It still improves your crit star generation, but also now gives the cards that follow it 20% crit chance for free. You can crit even on turn 1. That's pretty cool. The quick chain was also buffed. It now gives you 20 stars, not just 10, so your likelihood of hitting the star cap much better after a quick chain. But also, quick was on our own benefit. We have introduced a new mechanic, the Mighty Chain. Use any combination of one each of Quick, Arts, and Buster, and yes, that has been confirmed by checking the wiki and people in our community. Any order works, just it has to be one of each. This gives you the effect of all 3 cards on the rest of on the chain. So NP gain up, damage up, crit up, 20% crit chance. Yeah, I believe NP cards don't count for this. They have to be the actual physical Quick, Arts, and Buster, but still, good.
Very nice.
Yes, helps you build strategies with more varieties of decks. And also, unlike color chains, this means that every servant can do a Mighty Chain. And can do specifically Mighty Brave Chain. So when you do that, the Mighty Chain on all one servant, that's a Mighty Brave Chain, and that means that the bonus is extended to your extra card, except the crit chance. So that means damage up, NP gain up, and star gen up on your extra card, your literal best card. So, yeah, a lot of people have joked, but also I think it's serious. This is a pretty big buff to solo servants. If you're actually doing, like, solo team comps, this makes you a lot more efficient there. Also, it kind of acts as, I think, possibly another intended use is kind of as a desperation move. When you get whittled down to one servant, your performance will be that much better.
I never actually thought about it, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's the Mighty Brave Chain is kind of niche, but it does have uses and is, pretty cool if you can pull it off. There are a couple of servants who obviously will really like it, like Space Ishtar. But the improvements to Quick and the regular Mighty Chain are probably going to do a lot for people, because like I said, it really lets you diversify your team building options. So that's a cool one. I don't know if they'll be able to, but I hope they can float that one to us early. I don't know how the coding for that works, but it would be cool. We also have some new graphics settings. There is a quality optimizing setting on your graphics choices now. Just beware on your potato phones. It may cause your phone to suck up more battery and heat up, so watch out. But it is designed to... You basically have speed mode and quality mode, like most games these days. So you can make sure it renders better or make sure it renders faster. And then we got... This year's theme was Ascensions, I think we can say.
I think so.
So, every Servant Ascension now unlocks rewards. Ascensions 1, 2, and 3 gives you 1 Pure Prism each, and your final Ascension either gives you 3 Saint Quartz or 1 Rare Prism for Welfares. So Welfare is continuing that Rare Prism economy. This is all retroactive, by the way, which means that if you are an Ultra Whale and have all the servants in the game, you will get a fuck ton of quartz back. And obviously, this favors whales and people who roll a shitload a lot more, but I think it's appropriate, right? Much like the pity rate, this is kind of like the game cashing you back in for investing so much.
Yeah.
Because you still got to spend the money to roll the servant, usually. It'll come back to you. So it's a decent little thing. And even then, even if you're free to play, you should still get a pretty big quartz infusion. Also, more Rare Prisms. Really working on that Rare Prism economy. Also, Pure Prisms helps the Mats economy. You know what else helps with the Mats economy? Extra Master Missions. Extra Master Missions have been updated. Sorry, I was thinking ahead. My notes are slightly out of order with my brain. The Extra Master Missions were updated for even more Saint Quartz, though. So stuff like clear Lost Belts, more free quests, stuff like that. And then there's a new Master Mission, which is based around getting a servant to Final Ascension. You can do up to 150 times every 5 levels for crystallized lores. So it should be like 30 lores if you maxed out this mission. Also very nice. Very solid. Very good for skills. And the thing I was thinking about was we got another daily mission revamp. So not only does every mission give you 10 prisms, but every time you clear your daily missions, you get a mat ticket. This means that you are actually getting like 4 mat tickets a day.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So this is basically... it's like 4x your mats growth per month, which is a lot. Probably lets you actually split up between the 3 different mats. So, pretty good. We're also rebalancing the dailies. Now, both Saturday and Sunday are all. And depending on if it's Embers or Mats, some days pull double duty. For instance, I think it's Tuesday in the rotation will now have the Saber Rider and is it Lancer Assassin? I think those will both be one day, and you can pick between the two, etc. And then for like the Mats, it's like a couple of days later in the week, double up on classes. And then additionally, during this time period, you've got half AP and all are open until 8:10 with a 3x suck chance. So just giving you all the lovely choices to do with things and giving you more options.
Yay, options!
Your storage is also expanded as usual. I think the default free servant storage is like 700 slots now or something. It's like 600 slots for CEs. Pretty big chungus. Also, there's more in the Mana Prism shop if you need even more in your second archive. Also, you got your usual collection of stuff in DaVinci's shop. So we've got bonus inventory, extra tickets, EXPs, etc. Costumes for MHX, Summer Musashi, Void Shiki, and Ilya's Testament costume are all in the RP shop now. 2 of them are locked if you've cleared Solomon. You can get them for free. And Musashi's if you cleared Shimosa. Additionally, to prep for Lost Belt number 7, Nahui Mictlan, which is a very interesting name. You should go look it up. Lost Belt 6 is half AP permanently.
I mean, you're going to have to spell that out for me, otherwise I'm going to have no idea what the fucking search. Wait, or is it right here in the fucking...
Yeah, it's in the
right
notes.
there.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Right, I'll post it for the patrons since they can't copy my notes. Yeah. Nahui Mictlan. I think I'm saying that correctly. My Aztecian pronunciation is different. But basically, that's a kit bash of the name for the underworld and the metaphor for the 4 suns or 5 suns. So, interesting things are happening. And guess what? According to his latest interview, Nasu, that motherfucker, is still writing Lost Belt 7. It will not be the final part of Part 2. It's just going to catapult us towards the finale. So I guess that break he took after Lost Belt 6 was so somebody else could write 6.5 and so he could play Elden Ring.
I mean, I think we were all pretty much calling that. Also, the fact that 7 wouldn't be the actual final part.
Yeah,
There's going to be
it's not the actual finish. There's going to be at least one more thing.
It's going to be like a Solomon-esque kind of thing.
Yeah. Also, Nasu keeps saying in interviews that Lost Belt 7 is simple. The story is simple. Don't worry. And I feel like the more he says it, the more worried we get. Yeah, lies in patron chat. No, I don't know. Anyway, it'll be interesting. It is going to be a Nasu special. So.
Listen, it could be very simple. We could get there and there's something very big and scary that we have to defeat. All we gotta do is defeat the thing to win. Technically, that's simple. Usually it's figuring out how to defeat the thing that's not.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So there's an interesting variety of stuff there. Also, yes, there is, the Type Moon Ace and all that other fun stuff going on. I believe Takuchi said that hard work is being done on the second half of Tsukihime, but they don't have anything to announce yet, so be patient. Extra Record did have a new trailer, but is still in kind of the vague, we don't have a publisher right now zone.
It's exciting, though.
It's not canceled, but we have no idea when it's coming out, basically.
It was delayed, basically.
Yeah.
They showed the trailer at Wadaoka's exhibit, so everyone knows it's still there, and it does look very lovely, very nice. I'm excited.
We are still willing to advertise that we are making it, so we're making it. It's just, it might be a little bit, because we need somebody to back us on this. But Type Moon Studio BB was like a razor trigger on that posting the moment it showed on stream. It was on YouTube, and they tweeted about it. Pretty baller. There's also some, so you'll see this as we go on. There wasn't a Tsukihime collab this year, but also, like, it feels kind of like we're having the Tsukihime collab. There's a lot of emphasis on the Tsukihime, like, news and stuff at the main FGO anniversary panel, or the staff talk or something. I think it was the main panel. To fill time, they announced that they're releasing, like, singles for the ending songs for Piece of Blue Glass Moon.
I mean, Rihanna is amazing. I listen to that shit on Spotify all the time.
Yeah. And also, there was a lot of Melty Blood news.
Mm-hmm.
We'll check in with later. Like, so we're obviously, like, Tsukihime is having a lot of vibes now for reasons. I don't know if that's going to be plot relevant to us later, or just we're feeling it because that's, the big thing that Type Moon is working on. Anyway, verily, let us continue down the list. Now, when you take a support, you can use non-friends NPs.
Yeah.
Took us 7 years for that one. Still, good. I think they figured out balance-wise that it was worth it. Also, there's just some general UI improvements and a shitload more full-screen MPEs. We have gotten some more limited time missions. That includes 4 tickets, a new command code featuring Nekomash, because she made it to Melty Blood, and a new Mystic Code. That's right, you get your new Mystic Code from your Master Missions. It's the Tsukihime-themed one. First skill is a Buster plus single target heal. Second one decreases an enemy's instant death resistance by like 50% at max level, and also gives you some stars. Final one removes mental debuffs from a target and gives them 10% battery. Solid all around. The mental debuffs is good, because I can get rid of sleep bullshit. Now, if you use this Mystic Code, you can recover from Oberon's eternal sleep. That's probably relevant for somebody, somewhere. Alright, now we get to the part where I just list things a lot. You thought I was listing things? You haven't seen shit yet. So, we're about halfway through the rank-up quests. Let me also pull up the actual diagram so we can speculate wildly on the ones that are left. But, the ones we have gotten so far are... Extra Vlad got his tactics buffed, as you would expect. It now does a rounded 10 to 20% NP up, and also 10 to 20% Buster up for 3 turns, and gives himself an on-hit debuff that activates on enemies, 5 hits, 3 turns to give that enemy, or 5 times he's hit, 3 turns, to give that enemy 3 turns of defense down by 10%. So, there you go. Tanking. Jekyll's self-modification has been modified to now give you a 50 to 80% battery, so you can basically always go hide if you want to. It doesn't fix the fact that a lot of people have brought up that hide doesn't really have anything to do once he's hide, but still, with append skills and this buff, means that you can literally just always go to hide. It's, like, ludicrously easy. Our next blob was Medusa Smol. On her Guts skill, she now gets a 20 or 30% battery on self. Pretty typical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Lancer Deermud got a buff. A pretty good one. So his third skill, his Stargen skill, now also gives him 10 to 20% arts and quick up and 20 to 30% crit up for 3 turns. So just a all-around good boy improvement. Void Shiki got a buff to her Yin Yang skill. It is now a targetable heal, 2k to 5k, and it costs the target of the heal 10% NP, but before it activates, she charges her own NP gauge by 20 to 30%. So if you're healing somebody else, it's just a 30% battery. If you're healing herself, she uses up 20% of that. Still not ideal on self if you don't have NP2, but it gives her a little bit more flexibility in terms of design, and also I think it fits the fact that she's an arts unit a little bit better to give her a big stonking heal.
Oh, excuse me.
So it's a pretty good one. Speaking of big buffs to 3 stars, though, Fergus got a pretty big buff. Did y'all know his second skill, his defense skill, had a demerit?
I did not.
Not no more, it don't. I actually shocked that it took him this long. It was a fucking awful demerit. It gave him like a 50% chance down to give himself offensive buffs. It's gross. It's terrible. Anyway, it lost that demerit. It still keeps its old effect of giving him like 15 to 25% defense up for 3 turns. It now also gives him 10 to 20% buster up and 30 to 50% crit damage on buster cards up for 3 turns.
That's hoopty.
Yeah, just solid damage buffs.
Oops.
We also got, not a skill buff for once, an NP buff for Summer Ushi. It has the usual multiplier up, and now does bonus damage to lawful enemies.
Not gonna lie, she needed that.
This is probably good. Her damage was a little lackluster.
Yes.
I have like an NP3 Summer Ushi, so I will appreciate this. I got a shitload of Summer Ushis rolling for Summer John. But only like 1 Ibaraki. It's weird. Your boy, Bart, also got an upgrade. His second skill increased its crit up for the party to 30 to 50%, and also now gives the team a flat 10% battery gain. So just upping those numbers a little bit.
A little bit there, a little bit there.
And our latest batch just today, as of the time of recording this episode, obviously by the time this episode goes public, there'll probably be a new batch out, but listen, I can only future see so much. If we delayed last week's show, you wouldn't know any of this yet. Anyway, Summer Murasaki got an NP upgrade. Her NP now deals more damage to Earth attribute enemies and has the usual damage modifier. I've only just got my Summer Murasaki, so I don't know how good this is, but, you know, it feels like they're realizing that, especially on limited servants, non-scaling NP effects other than damage are a little bullshit.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think Murasaki's only effect was she did, like, a charge down based on OC and then the damage. So this kind of makes sense. Same for Ushi. I think she just had a a scaling overcharge effect and just did damage before. So, decent modifier. But also, we're doing a lot for janky-ass 3-stars. Toda's Rice got buffed.
Oh, Rice.
Not only does it do that max HP gain for the team, but it also does a flat 10% NP battery and 10 to 20% buster up for 3 turns. So, that's a good Rice. Busto Rice. And now, our remaining slots, we have 4 left. So, tonight, a 3-star caster and a 5-star foreigner will be buffed. Most people are saying probably Summer Abigail. I mean, I kind of feel like, given the way the 3-stars have been going, it's gotta be Geronimo for the 3-star caster, right? Like, I don't know what they're gonna do, but, like, they buffed frickin' Toda.
I mean, maybe Medea.
Ooh, I would love if it was regular Medea.
Like, cause Medea doesn't have any, like, art support on anything, does she?
True, she doesn't have any damage steroid. Or, you know what they could do? They haven't ever buffed her NP, right?
Right.
Her NP still has AoE mods on it.
Like,
the fact that it does buff removal after hit is pretty useless right now.
It could be Geronimo, but I'm leaning more towards Medea just because I don't think Medea's really been touched that much.
No, regular Medea is not as popular to the game designers as Medea Lily is. I mean, I would go apeshit if it was regular Medea got like an NP upgrade. I would love that. That would be pretty rad. But I also feel like the Geronimo memes are just as likely.
Yeah, well, I think the only problem I have with Geronimo is he needs the complete skill.
Well, yeah, as Axe said in the patron chat, he literally needs like his entire kit overhauled.
Let's see, do we have any other 3? Well, let's see, we also have Mephistopheles and Caster Giles.
Caster Giles did get some buffs recently, like his aesthetic appreciation got fixed. Mephistopheles is not necessarily a good... Oh, she did get her NP upgraded, it just still doesn't fix her NP damage, does it? Let me know if it does. I remember people discussing that, so last I heard it's still the AoE modifier. We can still do more to that, we can fix that. Listen, they buffed Emiya's frickin' projection twice.
If I remember correctly, didn't Caster Q recently get a buff?
Yes, Caster Q has a story buff.
Alright, let me see here.
In Avalon. I don't think Paracelsus needs any buffs. He is a reliable 3-to-play support unit.
How's Babbage?
Babbage could probably use something. His niche is being tanky. Like, he's had a hard invul for a bajillion years, which is pretty unique for a caster. But he is just a buster AoE. I don't think he really does anything crazy. Let's see. We've got Asclepius. He's probably fine. The VK Brun's probably fine. Geronimo, Babbage, Paracelsus, Mephistopheles. I mean, Mephistopheles has some decent niches. What kind of buffs have you got, my man? He's got that very funny buff block upgrade. That's his 3rd skill, Clown's Laughter.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure they're gonna...
his Innocent Monster was fixed. It's probably not Mephistopheles, just because he's gotten a bajillion buffs.
Let's see here. Honestly, I'm looking at all of Medea's skills. They could all use a little something. Like, she has high-speed Divine Words, which is, 150%, NP at level 10, but that's all it does. Most of her skills only do one thing, except her strengthening one, which is Turchin Sakurki, which removes one ally's debuffs and increases their NP generation.
For 1 turn by 50%. Yeah,
Yeah.
Medea was very much a launch unit, and they gave her all those fixes once. They did give her an NP interlude, which is cool, but it's still, like we said, it's the AoE scaling, which I don't think even gets as high as the fucking single target scaling, period. I mean, I guess the craziness is the fact that her overchar... Like, the thing about Medea is that, like, I know you say her high-speed Divine Words is just 150%, but still, it's 150%. Like, at level 10. It's pretty crazy. Her overcharge on Rule Breaker, if you can get Medea to 500%, she will literally automatically loop.
Yeah.
Like, Medea was a crazily designed unit for the time. I definitely do that. I definitely, though, do feel like as the game has drifted on for, like, 7 more years, it hasn't really done anything.
No.
So I could easily see, like, Argon Coin getting a buff. I mean, I'd love for the damage on Rule Breaker to get buffed to be more appropriate. Casters are already noodle people. But, yeah, you could easily do, like, Argon Coin to, like, actually... I mean, it's a 2.5k heal every 4 turns on herself, but it's just on herself, right? If it was targetable, maybe, that would be worth it.
Yeah, no, like, just looking at her raw, like, her NP's, like, fine. does damage, it strips buffs.
Yeah.
And stripping buffs is always amazing, and you recharge your MP. Like, honestly, it's simple, but it's functional. But it's just the damage is anemic, and her kit really doesn't, well, aside from high-speed words, her kit really doesn't benefit that.
Yeah, Mintia, baseline Mintia is literally just Rule Breaker Turbo. You use Divine Words to immediately use Rule Breaker, strip the enemy's buffs, and then go on with your life, basically.
Yeah.
Whether that's you do, like, follow-up NPs or whatever.
Yeah, I think she definitely needs, like, she needs a damage steroid. That's what
I mean, I would love if they treated regular vanilla Medea as crazy as they treated, like, Ku, Herc, Emiya, and Artoria in last couple runs. Like, they got some crazy good buffs.
So that's who I'm hoping for, personally. Give me some Medea love, please. And what was the other one? 5-star Foreigner?
Yeah, 5-star Foreigner. It is probably Summer Abbey.
Probably.
She is notorious for being a low-performing unit. That said, there's about 5 bajillion 5-star Foreigners, so it could be literally anybody.
That's true, I suppose.
3 of them haven't come out for us. That's right. Between now and the JP anniversary, there are 3 more 5-star Foreigners.
Well, I have no nothing about that because I can't really think of that. But who are the last 2 we got coming up after that?
Gold Saber, which is supposed to be 4-star, I think.
Is it?
It's what they allege. Maybe they may have a different graphic. And then 1-star Berserker, specifically. Which is 2 choices, by the way.
Really?
Well, I mean, it could be Bunyan, so it's technically 3, but I don't think it's Bunyan. So it's just Asterios or Spartacus.
What about Eric? Isn't he?
Nope, he's 2 stars.
Oh.
And so is Salome and Caligula. Yeah, the graphic says 4-star, okay. Yeah, it specifies that it's exactly 1-star, so the Berserker is a very narrow slice. I feel like it's probably Asterios.
I mean, Asterios. Well, I haven't used him in a hot minute, my poor boy. I love him, but he seems very adequate at what he's doing. He was a wall. He just basically reduced their enemies' attacks to 0 and be like, you do nothing now, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, he has a 6 turn at 20% capped attack down. And then further decrease for 1 turn by 40%, decreases their def as well by a lot. That's pretty good after the buff. I guess the main thing I would say is, how the heck do you get him to his NP? Because he's got a gorilla deck.
True enough.
I mean, I don't think it's probably Bunyan.
I think Bunyan is...
But Bunyan's event has been released 30 times. If they wanted to give her a buff, they would have. But let's see, Asterios has he's got a vanilla monstrous strength, but that's still 30%. Attack over 3 turns, as Natural Demon gives himself 20 to 40% defense for 3 turns, and it's got a 5-turn cooldown. That's pretty solid. And then his final skill is a 20 to 30% buster for 1. Yeah, no, it's a star weight up. For a bronze, it's pretty effective. I would think the main thing is could he use a battery? Probably. What's Spartacus got going on for him? I know he has a self battery. Yeah, Triumphant Return. Oh no, he doesn't have a self battery. He has a lot of healing. Honor of Suffering is heal per turn. Unyielding Will is a battery. Okay, so he has a 30% battery. Ooh, okay. Actually, I mean, that skill could still be buffed. That's only a 30% battery, and it's a 1 HP guts. It's not the greatest. Though, he does admittedly have, 2 different healing skills. And his NP restores HP? Like a 4K. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it could be honest. It could honestly be any of them. I do think Bunyan is least likely. I would not agree with the statement. It's probably Bunyan, just because, like I said, they've released all the Statesmen 4 times and had a manga collab event. If they were planning on a Bunyan buff this year, they probably would have done it already. I mean, it's just the question of how vanilla are their buffs. We were talking about Medea, right? She has good skills. It's just they're very limited. Argon Coin is a very good self heal, but it's a self heal on Medea, and it's only that one thing is the self heal. Asterios has a good monstrous strength. It's 30% attack up for 3 turns, but it's only 30% attack up for 3 turns. Yeah, 4-star Saber, I have literally no fucking idea.
I'm trying to think if there's any been particularly anemic in gameplay, and I can't think of any really.
I'm just gonna start looking at the list. It's probably not the Fairy Knights. I'm pretty sure those guys are cracked and popular. I mean, it could be Saber Lily, but I don't know how much you can. She's in the FP Gacha. I don't know how much of a patch you can do on that one. Rama's gotten some buffs. I think Rama's pretty effective. I actually use my Rama. Let's see what you're looking at. I mean, Rama has a vanilla charisma that's not A rank, so possibly it could be a Rama buff. His NP got significant buffs. Yeah, I would say unless they're going to do something about Brave Liz. But again, I don't know. They already did try. I believe they tried and made her third skill better with that big Liz Blitz. Anyway, yeah, they already made that EX with the Halloween trilogy. It's still 50% NPK. Oh my god. I mean, I'm pretty sure Dion has always been still good as a staller. You can't use Dion as a damage dealer, but that's not what Dion does. You really don't need to buff Lancelot Saber. I think we've fixed Gwaine. I don't think you need to buff Sitting. Yeah, I'm looking at it all, unless it's something like crazy that I don't know about yet. Lakshmi Bai is probably the most likely, if only because Lakshmi Bai is perfectly okay, but the problem is, but you don't need anything else on him, Max. He's already good. Saberlot has been long known in the game as a pocket 5-star. I don't think he needs any buffs. He's great. The dude's busted. Lakshmi Bai is a solid unit, but the problem is that her playstyle did not really mesh with the way Quick was going back at the time. Because her NP only has 4 hits. So I don't know if there's something they could do there to either, like, adjust her to fit with more people's Quick playstyle or just give her more niches to do. Because she's a really good tank saber, but I don't know if that's what, as an AoE, I don't know if that's what people are looking for.
No, probably not.
Doing a lot of game design stuff for something else, it really makes me think about these concepts. FGO is very weird because you've got your, like, fixed 3-unit lineup, and there's only, like, 3 types of NPs, basically, and then divide by card type. You've got AoE, single target, non-damaging. So,
it's a grid.
Yeah, there's grids and stuff. I don't know how much Watabe no Suna is good or not.
Unfortunately, we probably can't talk too much about units we actually had the chance to test drive ourselves.
Yeah, that's later this year. He is a permanent saber, though. But thinking about, like, the FGO, like, NP utility grid, there is definitely a zone between farming, because that's what you usually use AoE for, is wave clears to farm. But some bosses spawn with ads, so you also sometimes need wave clears for boss waves, for story content and challenge quests. So, like I said, Lakshmi Bai exists in that weird zone where she's probably for those kinds of clearing ads, because she has so many defensive abilities and her NP's effects are, in case you don't forget, her NP, which is not RNG, is AoE damage, removes offensive buffs, decrease critical rate based on overcharge, starts at 20%. If this was an Arts NP, I would be like, Art Stall, got it. The Jean of India, got it. This is not that. So, she does have some of her buff effects, but remember her third skill, if you max it, means that all your skills aren't RNG. It's a 40% buff chance up on herself, which also gives her a 3k guts. The main thing is just it makes her slightly more debuff. Whatever the reverse word of resistant is. And that also only just undoes her core of the goddess anyway, so, or her magic resistance A, either way. So yeah, if you actually level Lakshmi Bai, she's not a bad unit. The problem is just that, like, I don't think she's got a niche that fits with anybody. Even Osakabe Hime, they crossed her into giving a buster buff because they were like, yeah, this quick stall shit doesn't work. So yeah, I don't know. I think it could be a Lakshmi Bai buff. I just don't know what the fuck they would do to, like, make people want to use her. Other than maybe one of her skills, like, switches her NP to AoE buster. That would probably make her popular. Alrighty. Okay, before we get to our next big, huge list, because we've been recording for 50 minutes raw, I have to take a quick break, because it's hot and I have been pounding back the waters, so I'm going to take a stop down and I'll be right back. And so we resume the game. Okay, I will now attempt to explain the Lucky Bag GSSR summoning. There's about 20 of them. They're divided by class and by date. And I may need chat to back me up on some of this. The way I understood this from the wiki was, your Lucky Bag summon will definitely contain a limited SSR from that class and time. I do not know if a 4-star is guaranteed. A 4-star servant is guaranteed, but I think it might be based on the collection. But they will contain 4 stars, can be rolled for sure, from that class and that time. This includes lock and limited servants. You are not guaranteed a limited SR, but your SRs, if you roll them, can include limited and story lock servants from the appropriate time block. The 3-star servants are from the class only, but I do not believe they will be limited ones. I did not see any specific notes that you can get, like Nagayoshi and Izo on this. None of that matters for Izo. He's like the least limited unit, right up there with Gilgamesh. If you roll the extra banners, though, the 3-star can be of any of the extra classes, I believe. It will not just be the ones that you're limited to normally. So, it's very narrow, kind of. It's pretty crazy. Okay. So, Saber 1 is Arthur, Okita, Sigurd, Nero Bride, Void Shiki, and Musashi. And then all the Saber class 4 stars and lower who came out during those years. Saber 2 is Saber Astolfo, Ibuki, Summer Okiten, Muramasa, Charlemagne, Trunks, and Benny Enma. It's pretty spicy. Archer 1 is just Summer, Artoria, Ishtar, Gil, and Moriarty. It's personally one I'm probably going to skip. Archer 2 is Summer John, Super Orion, and Sei Shonagon. Haven't had a lot of limited archers in a while. Though we do have a new permanent 5-star archer. It's cool. Lancer 1 is Eresh, Skahak, Bryn, and Summer Tama Lancer. Lancer 2 is just Roma, Ryoma, and Melusine. I had to do the order to do the joke. Rider 1 is Maid Alter, Iskander, and Ivan. Currently, this is my best banner because that would be a new unit no matter what happened, funnily enough. Rider 2 is Constantine, our new SSR Bakken, Sima Yi, and Little Rider Da Vinci. Caster 1 is Ilya, Summer Nero, Scotty, Merlin, and Da Vinci. That's a very stacked run if you're looking for some of the old juice there. Caster 2 is Castoria, Okuni, Murasaki, and Miss Crane. It's very Japanese in there. Struck Castoria surrounded by, 4 Japanese castles. Anyway. Assassin 1 is Shuten, Cleopatra, MHX, and Gramps. Assassin 2 is Kama, Semiramis, and Koyan Sky of Light.
That one's mine. Right there.
Yeah. No, Lucky's locked himself in. He's pretty good. Berserker 1 is Kintoki, Raiko, MHXA, and Hijikata. Berserker 2 is fucking nuts. Summer Musashi, Arjuna Alter, and Morgan. Those are your only 3 options.
It's fucking powerful. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's strong. Rider 1, obviously, for me, is funny because that's, like I said, that's literally a new unit. Berserker 2 is shit, dude, the worst I can do is NP3 Summer Musashi. You're gonna be slam jamming. Though, obviously, Morgan isn't out yet, so I don't know how I will do on those prospective banners. And I say banners because there's gonna be a few of them. So, Extra 1 is Amakusa, Holmes, Dantes, and Jalter. Extra 2 is Summer Ruler Artoria, Mothman, Space Ishtar, Mao, and Summer BB. Extra 3 is Karen, Ruler Moriarty, Himiko, Summer Kama, Kagekyo, and Summer Kiara. It's crazy. And so the first 3 extras are the Ruler Avenger Moon Cancer Triangle. The other 3 extras are Pretenders, Alter Egos, and Foreigners. So Extra 4 is Okiten, Classic, Kiara, Melt, Abby, and Hokusai. Extra 5 is King Proteus, Summer Abby, Van Gogh, Voyager, and Young. That's right. Extra 5 is KP and 4 5-star Foreigners. I told you there was a lot. And then Extra 6 is Doman, Super Bunyan, Bazette, Jacques Demole, Koyan 2, Darkness Boogaloo, and Oberon. So, as you can see, it's a lot to parse. And thank God they have little graphics for all this.
Oh, yeah.
But depending on what servants you are hunting for, these lucky bags are amazing.
Well, it's the fact that they basically split so much into just so many little individual parts. So instead of having to roll against a whole class or a whole year,
yeah,
you can just...
It's a class and a year. And it's...
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, hey, some of these are actually quite small. Recently, the game hasn't released so many limited archers. There have been new 5-star archers, but they've been permanent, So if you don't have Super Orion, Sei Shonagon, or John Summer, that's a really good one for you. Like I said, I literally haven't rolled anybody in Rider 1. And then, there's stuff like Assassin 2. That's just 3. There's just been 3 new limited SSR assassins. So for you, that's easy pick. Free Kama, free Koyan, or free Semi. No, easy peasy. And like we said, Berserker 2. Oh my god, that's just those are some of the most primo farmers in this game. It's nuts. The only ones you get crazy is there have been some packed years. Extras 3 and Extra 5. Honestly, Extra 6 as well. That's also really, some of the extras, even though they split it 2 ways, are really packed because they've released a lot of them. but others are pretty tight. The main thing for me is, like I said, is it really depends on my roles. Like, Saber 2 has a lot of units I want on it, but I know I'm going to be rolling for, like, Muramasa and Charlemagne and stuff, right? So, we'll see how well I do, and may or may not need to consider that. Plus, there's, 2 extra years of lucky bags in there. Because otherwise, for me, I'm like I said, Rider 1 is funny, but no, it's Berserker 2 for me. Unless I get, like, a bajillion Morgans.
Yeah, like, again, it always comes down to where I'm at when I'm actually get there. Like, I might actually be able to pull off, like, my MP5, Koyanskaya, or get, like, my MP5 combo 4, and then at that point, all I got there is a Semiramis, who I do not have yet. And I'm just like,
I mean, that would be nice, but is that... Do you want to gamble for a chance at Semiramis or pay money to get a USO?
Yeah, so... Then at that point, like, again, it depends on how many Morgans I got at that point. I'm just like,
And then there's the completely separate Koyan 2 banner, right?
Yeah. So there's a lot of things to consider and prepare for.
Like, I could see myself rolling on Extra 3, for instance. That's got Kagekiyo, Summer Kama, Himiko, Ruler Moriarty in there. It's also got Summer Kiara. But that's what happens when you divide up by years. There's going to be some units where you're going to be kind of taking a little bit of an L.
Yep.
Again, unless, of course, you're rolling on Berserker 2. Like, literally, I don't think anybody is mad about any of those units. We're really making up for those no Arjuna Altar rate-ups, huh? But yeah, no, so this is a pretty rad format. It's hopefully going to be nice, and you can get a lot from it. And, some of them are more swingy than others, but that's why you get, different formats at different times. You can pick different ones to get better at things. All right. Well, we have the actual Summon campaign after that, though. So that was the big reveal. 5-star Moon Cancer, Archetype Earth. I told you that it's the secret Tsukihime Collab. It's just all year is the Tsukihime Collab.
It kind of is. Like, I don't think no one, like, how do I want to put this? No one believed that, Tsukihime units would not get into the game eventually. Everyone knew it, everyone expected it. But I'm pretty sure most people, like me included, was expecting it to be an actual, Tsukihime collab. Not for them to just literally drop Archetype Earth Anniversary, be like, here you go, guys. And you're just like, It's just like...
But no, there's actually quite a lot of these things going on. They're syncing up to everything. And there's obviously been a little bit of crossover right now. We'll talk about the details in a little bit. But there's an Anni campaign going on to celebrate the fact that Melty Blood is going to EVO. And for that, they gave us the special commemorative CE they did for Melty Blood because Artoria's in it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe she is a base character, but she's the secret character. The most obvious Type Moon fighting game secret character ever. It's Artoria. It's always Artoria. If there was a fighting game that started with Artoria, then we'd find a different Artoria to be the secret character. But yeah, so this one kind of came big swinging out of nowhere. With a lot of pizzazz, I think it's actually her first ascension is like the really glamorous one, and then the short hair one is later. We'll talk about what her NP does, but they showed it off, and it is phenomenal. It actually changes the stage background. Like,
I love how they actually did the reveal too. Showed it was a Moon Cancer, then it did like a Summer Camera does, and it actually changed.
Yeah,
everyone was like, "What?"
Hey, I mean, I technically got my wish about Moon Cancers making people mold. That was another thing, by the way, that was in the comments. Somebody was like, "You guys talked about Moon Cancers a lot. How much did you know? When did you know it?" Fun fact: I did actually see a leak that was accurate, at least to the names of the anniversary servants. Though the leak list that's going around had Shufu pegged as a caster, not an alter ego, so not 100% correct. So I was like, when I saw Shufu, I was like, spoilers by the way, Shufu, new 3-star permanent alter ego. When I saw that, I was like, oh, are those leaks correct? So it wasn't quite the pure astonishment for me. But when we recorded that episode last week, no, we didn't know anything. No, we were just shit talking about Moon Cancers, and here we are. And her third skill is Funny Vamp.
They know what's up.
Yeah, they know what's going on. They're working hard. It's a lot of fun. We'll talk about the details of these 2 new units later. But yes, also, obviously, Archetype Earth, Moon Cancer, big deal, bringing a lot of action to us. Apparently, similar to Castoria, I think embodying a very positive force to come to our alliance, as you'll see later from when we discuss what her unit actually does. But also, let's not sleep on Shufu, guys. Like, a permanent 3-star alter ego has been added to the game. Yes, she's not offensive. She's a support, but, like, still, we're getting FP gotcha extra classes now, like for realsies.
Oh, it's exciting.
Yeah.
I am
and also, it took her 2 years. The clock starts now, guys, but she made it into the game.
Yay!
There's also a trial quest for Archetype Earth, so you can get a ticket and try her out. And there is I think they're actually doing an interesting thing with the banners. It's not that there's a daily rotation along with Archetype Earth. They have a separate daily rotation banner. Shufu is in all of them, but the rotation includes a smattering of Saber Shiki, Summer Nero, MHX, Voyager, Summer Musashi, Summer Abby, Ilya, Summer Ushi, and Summer Murasaki. This may be another reason why people are assuming that Summer Abby is going to get the rank up, because she's in the anniversary banners.
Mm-hmm.
But so you don't, if you want to just roll Arc, you can roll the Arc banner, I believe, and then if you want to roll the extra people who are on rate up during anniversaries and New Year's and stuff like you usually do, that's a separate track. I mean, with Voyager, it's a coin flip. The problem is I don't know if Voyager's I know Voyager isn't necessarily the most overperforming foreigner, but like, many people were in the comments of my second summer video yelling at me for trying to give you any positives to Summer Abigail. I don't really see the point. Yes, no. I tried to explain things you can do with her because she's infamously bad at damage, but also some people have made her do crazy good damage. She is so bad that people on the internet feel the need to yell at me about how she's bad, so, like, I'm assuming that's probably a buff. There's no way Lasengle doesn't know that people think she's not good. And yes, there are people in the comments.
Sorry, I am just, once again, blown away by people's need to correct other people for some odd reason.
It's fine.
It's not fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, me personally, I am not harmed by it, but also, I'm not positive by it either. You didn't have a positive interaction with me. I'm not gonna, be like, hey, good job, you made people not want to watch my video by making the main unit I'm talking about be shit.
Guys, I really want to know, has anyone yelling at you across the internet actually made you seriously change your mind in a positive manner? Please, let me know in the comments below.
I mean, we've gotten some constructive YouTube comments, but those are usually phrased constructively. They're not just like, lol, Summer Abby bad.
Yeah.
And what I said in the video was what Legendary said in our patron chat just now was that, hey, guys, in about a year, Buster's gonna go through an overhaul. Spoilers. I know she's probably not the most optimal Buster servant, but she still do be one, though. But yeah, anyway, so there's a lot of speculation. Somebody in our patron chat pointed out the Voyager's rate up may start the same day as the buff too, so it's kind of weird. One of Koyan's buffs is she just gives your team a on-hit buff when they use a Buster card to give them, 5% battery. Flat out. It allows you to Buster loop. It's a little silly. And I think it's 5%. It might be 5 to 10 even. It's as usual, the anniversary servants are usually, huge, quakers and shakers in the meta. Don't think also that Arc is not doing some crazy stuff. We'll get there in a little bit. We have lots of other news to boil through. Because, of course, we also need to talk about, we're going to move on from the many, many anniversary news that we got. The raw audio timer has only been going for an hour and 7 minutes. That's our first bit of news, by the way. We move on to our second news. Naturally, what must come after anniversary, everybody, but summer. Summer 2022. The stream is on the 10th of August, right after the anniversary stuff ends. They have confirmed this for mid-August, so there's no guarantee that the event starts the same day as the stream, but just saying. Anniversary ends the 10th, and the stream is the 10th. So, keep that in mind. We got a confirmed trailer for costumes on Staff Talk. Mm-hmm. So it will be, for sure, Doman, Yan King, and Asclepius.
I'm gonna be real. None of them really do anything for me. I'm a little meh.
Oh, they're not amazing. I like Asclepius because he's got kind of a lifeguard getup. Cool. In the main context, they're just okay. But other people are gonna be like, oh my god, Doman! Simp.
They are.
I don't know if you can hear me doing the make it rain gesture on my palm. I don't know if that carried on the microphone.
Oh, if only Actually, now that I think about it, that's a double entendre. No, let's not get that trending, Legendary.
No, people would... If we try to make hashtag fuck Doman, that doesn't work.
No.
Though feel free, if you're listening to this right now, to leave hashtag fuck Doman in the comments. I think YouTube is okay with that. Nope, that's still kinky. All right, but no, we've got some other stuff. Also, we got a little, not a proper PV, right? But we got a little trailer. We showed off SSR Lady Avalon. I tried to, put that like I'm having my voice censored. And SR Summer Gareth. Shout out. No further details.
I'm really hoping they just surprise drop the rest of the Knights that are around summer costumes.
I would also hope they do that, but they did not allege it in the lead up. No further details were given. Only these two were shown off. We don't know their classes officially. We just, know their rarity. We don't know if is Summer Gareth the welfare? We don't know. Probably not, given that they showed her together. But I do have a couple bits of extra newsies for you though on this, and some additional information. Well, the Lady Avalon thing is hilarious because at the staff talk they revealed that Merlin was coming to Arcade, and so it went both ways. They went swapsies. It's pretty funny. No, there's no official word on last year's summer getting a rerun yet, though. Again, like I said, they said that the new summer wouldn't start until mid-August. I don't know if they're counting the 10th as mid-August, so it's entirely possible that in a couple days here in JP, once some of the anniversary stuff starts to trail off, they could announce the start of a rerun. If they don't do a rerun, guys, I mean, I'm not going to tell you to freak out or anything, but I'm also going to say that, you need to, corner Nissan at a panel or something and ask him, yo, where are the reruns? Because, that would officially be, for some reason, Los Angeles is not doing reruns, why? And, I don't mind if they have a reason for it. If they can tell us, yeah, we've actually looked at the server-side stats and only, 50% of players actually play the reruns, I'm okay. Okay, fine, sure. But, I would like to understand if there's a logic behind this or what. But there's still room for this summer to be rerun.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they'll run in September like the original one.
They could also just do that. It's true. That would be unusual, but not crazy. It would make sense. But let's see. Where was I? Yes. I was going to say, so I mentioned earlier, there have been some leaks floating around from at least a month or two ago. I will not say, first of all, I'm not going to list them because they could be wrong. We don't like to actually list out leaks here. You can dig them up yourself or go back in the backlog of our spoiler channel if you want to shovel them.
I don't even know what they are.
Yeah, Lucky hasn't seen them. He doesn't go in spoiler channel.
Nope.
I saw them in a otherwise unrelated Reddit thread where somebody was talking about the potential drama of the anniversary stream and was like, oh yeah, there's been some leaks. Might be true, might not be. And I clicked on the spoiler tag and was like, yes, interesting. But like I said, while that it has correctly identified Archetype Earth and Jufu as the anniversary servants. The classes were not correct. Jufu was listed as caster, not alter ego. It did list Lady Avalon by name, but I don't know how true these are. I feel like ever since about Lost Belt 5 Part 2, there's always been at least one big quote-unquote leak right before something new goes up, and usually half of it is wrong. Half of it's just wrong. There's usually one or two servants that are actually correct. And some of that is probably intelligent guesswork, and some of that may actually be early access to the files through data mining, betas, whatever. But whatever this leak process is, I don't know if it necessarily gives the leakers access to all the information and assets. So usually you'll get small stuff okay, that character did appear, but their class is wrong. Or some other character appeared instead of them, etc. So, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to reiterate the leaks. It's entirely possible that they're only half right. Mm-hmm. So take them with a grain of salt, but you can dig them up if you want. Now, we do have some interesting news from Nasu in the interview. He has said that the new summer event will be a theme park in the Arctic Circle. Should be Antarctic. Shake my head. We'll see if it actually turns out to be the Antarctic, but the article is translated as Arctic, and I'm just but that's wrong. It's summer in the Arctic right now. It should be the Antarctic. It's winter on the upside down. But also, he said something interesting, that unless he has been misquoted, is there will be 3 SSRs at this event?
Clearly, it's going to be Lady Avalon, Summer Tiamat, and Summer Draco.
That would be hilarious.
All 3 ladies just are we're on vacation from Arcade Timeline, bye.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Antarctic is where we were supposed to be, but it's all bleached, so it doesn't matter. But seriously, it should be the Antarctic. It's like I said, it's winter there now. There's no longer armies of unlimited masked crowmen because we've cleared that lost belt. We don't have that problem anymore.
Well, I'm assuming it has to be some sort of singularity. So even if it was down there, we wouldn't be going back there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just be bleached.
Also, Antarctica is big.
It's very big.
It's a very sizable landmass that will probably be habitable sometime soon. We'll all have to move there. But yeah, no. Based on the description and the general vibes, a lot of people are feeling like a Summer Scotty potential.
I can feel that.
Especially with the revamps to Quick. That's just a general vibe people have been getting.
Yeah, I'll
tell you that is in the leak list, but also, like, again, that could be just, like, anybody projecting that. There's still a lot of wiggle room out there, though. Like, I know a lot of people... I mean, I find the leak list funny because Summer Kagekyo was not on it, but a lot of people are like, Doman! Summer Kagekyo! Confirmed! So we'll see who's right. Listen, you can't be right all the time. I don't have Summer Atalante, so it's not correct.
I don't know. With 3 SSRs, who knows? Maybe they'll, finally break the meme, and maybe they'll actually have an actual, summable summer mail this year.
Yeah, a literal one. We'll see. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff out there. We do have a tentative bonus list. I say tentative because, as far as I can tell from looking at it, it just includes every summer character on it, including costumes, so males and MASH, plus Archetype Earth and nobody else. Which, okay, yes, there's 6 years of summers, but that does seem a little lean. It may be that they're not planning on doing the event for a little bit. Like I said, it says mid-August, so that's a fairly wide window. So it may just be that they don't want to actually, like, show you other unrelated story units so that you get spoiled, or maybe those guys aren't bonus units. We did actually kind of see that with our summer we just had, Summer 5. There were a fuck ton of characters in it, but not all of them were bonus servants. But, yes, you do get to use Archetype Earth as a bonus servant for damage. But now it is time to leaveth JP and move on to NA, because we do actually have some stuff here. Number 1, Okyu rerun started, going from the 2nd until the 15th of August. Pretty typical rerun stuff. If you've already got some of the stuff, you get some extra mana prisms and RPs. If you don't have the stuff, you get the stuff again. It's cool. We did get rank ups for Scheherazade and Kiara. Kiara, it's her NP upgrade, her damage, NB damage, and her heal have scaled up. Even more healing.
More healing.
And for Scheherazade, her first skill, her charge down, is now also a 20 to 30% battery. A solid buff for her. The banner is a rotation between Kama and Kiara, and Sitting Man is on raid up all the time. I think I threw a single ticket on the banner to see if I got Sitting Man. I got Camelot Hill instead.
The banner should switch over to Kama tonight, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Lucky. I don't think I mentioned this earlier. I did throw an 80 pack on Kama's first day, but I was all like, stay. But I'm going to try another 80 pack tonight to see if I can get another MP.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Oh, that's interesting. Completely unrelated, but Delta Green Impossible Landscapes just won an Anni award for best layout.
Really?
Yeah.
Sick.
Nice. That's the freaky King in Yellow one, if you don't know.
I don't know.
Naturally, it got the boost layout. But, in addition to the Okyu run, we also have another little special news bito. As we said, Melting Blood Type Lumina is at EVO.
Yeah.
So, to commemorate, we have a little campaign going from the 4th to the 11th here in NA. Also, by the way, MASH is coming to Melty Blood. It'll be later this year in a free update.
Mm-hmm. Along with Neko Arc.
Yeah. And
there's supposed to be 2 more characters announced at EVO. Yeah. A lot of people are screaming for Sion and... Who was the other one?
I don't know. Sion sounds about right, because it's her game series originally, but she's not in the remake because it's got like a different timeline thing. Mm-hmm. Also, by the way, there's going to be a free Melty Blood update that's going to improve the story. It's going to have new animations and improved scenarios and stuff. Some new gameplay.
Now, what they need to do is they need to add fucking Toko. Always more Toko.
That could also work because, Mahayu is later this year.
Alco's already in there, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Soz, we got a little stuff for this. There's a little video and a commemorative CE after a quest. Artoria gets, because this effect was originally for the fact that Artoria was the last announced character for Melty Blood, type Lumina. Double suck and double FP on Artoria. There's a little Artoria-themed summon banner. You can roll for Artoria, and you can also roll various Artoria-themed CEs. Fun times.
I feel like they should have put Saber Altar in this.
I mean, they probably could have, but it is a main line for Artoria. it is very relevant right now since she just got her big all-red card buff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's just a little bonus thing we got.
Yeah.
Also, another fun little thing. First of all, officially welcome to a great many new people to FGO, if you're new here. Because FGO, still officially marked as FGO USA or FGO NA on servers, but expanding that global reach, the English version of FGO is now available in many, many new regions. I don't know what kind of black sorcery they had to do, but it has been officially released in many countries in Europe, as well as in Mexico, New Zealand, Chile, and Brazil.
Honestly, it's like with the buyout and Sony/Aniplex assuming direct control, they were probably able to push a lot easier at whatever restriction and guidelines whatever countries may have.
Yeah, they're probably able to jump, and also probably having a bigger legal department and more dedicated, they could jump through more hoops to figure out what the fuck the problem was. Yeah. I assume it had something to do with the EU's various restrictions on gambling. I don't know if that means they have to, mark the game differently on those, but it's available in most of Europe now. It's a very big list.
I've heard several people celebrating the fact that they can quote unquote officially play it now. A lot of them had to use basically those backdoor app hosting.
Because obviously you could still, so long as you can read English, you can still just play the app. It's just like how people play JP. It's just that the official Google Play stores do not have it. So let's see. Before this, our official regions were United States of America, Canada, Commonwealth of Australia, Republic of Singapore, Republic of Philippines, Kingdom of Thailand, and now we have added the United Kingdom, Federal Republic of Germany, French Republic, Italian Republic, Spain, United Mexican States, yes, that's their official, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, the Federative Republic of Brazil, shout out to you guys for having a fun name, Republic of Finland, Kingdom of Sweden, Republic of Chile, just New Zealand, Republic of Poland, Swiss Confederation, Republic of Austria, Ireland, the Kingdoms of Belgium, Norway, and Denmark. It's not all the same one, it's just it's Kingdom three in a row. Also, seriously, still Kingdom of Belgium? Do they still have a king? The Belgians? And the Portuguese Republic. So, basically, I think that's most of the EU countries, not all of them, obviously, but most of the Western and Central European countries and the Scandinavia, as well as several new South American and Central American countries. And New Zealand, I guess they didn't count.
Yes, Belgium still has a fucking king.
Ha! Neat. Wonder how he's doing, being king of Belgium. Does he get all the waffles he wants?
If I was king, I'd demand all the waffles.
Yeah, I don't need any constitutional powers as monarch of Belgium. I just want unlimited Belgian waffles.
Okay, it's not letting me do my capture screen anymore. What the hell?
But yeah, so whether you have been here for a while or you're new, welcome all of these many, many countries to our wacky and wild ride. Okay. I am going to give us another intermission-y break. And we're back. There's some additional technical difficulties in the downtime.
All right. So we are back. And it is time for this week's Let's Talk FGO mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly. This week, I feel like we're a little thin. We only had, well, actually, let me refresh here. Yeah, no, it's only 8. Not that many. I know I was a day late, but
still a little lean.
Well, I'm gonna appreciate the ones that we get anyway. So, without further ado, let us move swiftly forth. And this first one comes from Moon is in Moriarty withdrawal. They say, "Hello there, Lucky Omega. Hope you're having a great day. Now that Arcuid is finally here, who else would you like to see in FGO from other Typhoon works, whether it's Fate related or not? Personally, I'm just looking forward to Richland Lionheart now that Charlie is finally in FGO. My answer is stupid simple. Give me Toko. I'm all about that mad scientist."
Yes, I relaxed in my chair a little bit for Lucky to get out of this. Otherwise, I would have done a lovely synchronized Toko. Bang the desks. Literally, our New Year's episode, I think, is called, and I remember it because it's when I saved the metadata tags for the MP3s. I haven't had to change them since the year started because that was when I needed to input a new recording year. But that's called We Love Toko, so it should be fairly obvious.
Honestly, with Arcuid in here, I'm pretty sure the Aozaki sisters are going to get in here eventually. But again, it's a question of when. Again, with the whole arc thing just popping at anniversary, I'm just all is that going to be our New Year's? Is Toko just going to kick down the door, fucking post LB7, be all sup bitches?
yeah, I mean, we really talking about breaking the pattern. Like, unless Archetype Earth is a major character in Lost Belt 7, which don't discount, you know, I mean, I don't think they wouldn't do a brand new SSR for just a commemorative event. There would have to be something in FGO. But like, yeah, I unless this is another Castoria where, and even then, Castoria obviously was like clearly implied to be of serious plot significance. I haven't read Archetype Earth's dialogue or anything yet. But like you would normally consider that a collab character, right? Is what we're saying.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's a big old open question mark.
By the way, December 8th this year is when the VN is going to be released. So they fucking might. I don't fucking know. They could just be all like, it's the anniversary. Have a fucking Toko. Here you go.
Yeah.
Or they could do an Alco. Alco technically is the protagonist. I'd cry.
Sorry.
By the way, I'm totally buying this. By the way,
Alco also has a lot more. I mean, I'm pretty sure Alco is still the protagonist.
Oh yeah.
You know the protagonist doesn't have to be the viewpoint character, right?
Consider it a story told in second person.
Shiro's still the protagonist of Fate Stay Night, but the prologue is from Rin's POV.
It's like the melancholy of I can't think of her fucking name now.
Haruhi Suzumiya?
Yeah, where it's for Haruhi's clearly the protagonist, but you know it's told from the perspective of a dude.
I mean, part of that is I think part of the storytelling vibe. I mean, I still feel like I have to double check from the trailer. I still feel like some of that dialogue looked like it was from the perspective of Alco, but it's hard to tell. Anyway, we'll find out later in December, because, yeah, it'll be stuff there. But what I was going to say, actually, about Alco is that, like, Alco is technically in more things, in more forms. Like, Toko obviously is herself in Mahoyo, and also appears in Karno Kyokai, which is also very, very, very early chops for there.
She does have a supporting role in Case Files,
and she technically appears as an NPC in well, actually, both the sisters I think appear as NPCs in Extra.
Yes, they do.
Where Toko has like her weirdest prototype weird extra build because she has blue hair. I guess it is supposed to be a virtual avatar, so Toko could give herself blue hair if she wants. But I think she also implies that she's from a different universe because she's looking for Shiki, who is the bonus boss.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be fun, by the way, figuring out if they keep some of the same cameos and stuff in Extra Record. Because both Arc and Ryogi Shiki are in that game.
Shiki is just Monster, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes, Shiki is the bonus boss, and she is called Monster. Arc was a Berserker.
The funny vamp.
Yeah.
But again, I keep my fingers crossed all the time for the Mahoyoru, you fool. Collab. But again, with Arc just dropping Anniversary, I'm just all like, what do I believe in?
Yeah, who knows anymore?
But we will see. And let us move on. This next one comes from I May Be Stupid. Please send help. I have this feeling on occasion once in a while. Like, I think I was like talking about something in games and just like, I'm dumb. Someone please help. Oh yeah, I say it here. It's like, I'm trying to keep better track of my stuff in my Adventures Codex, and I'm like, I didn't write that down. Why didn't I write that down? Writing things down is important, guys.
Because you didn't think about it. But also, yes, it is important.
But they say, howdy. With the recent buffs from this anniversary, maybe realize that older servants need buffs now, and we should do more batches of buff a year. I feel like we had more batch strengthening quests in the past before Backstreet Boys came out, but I could be tripping.
I think we technically did.
Oh my god.
What's up?
Sorry, Lucky click to read more.
Oh, yeah, no, I was waiting for that one. There's a lot of this. Before we even get into that, I'll interrupt. I'll let Lucky parse all that. Technically, we did have more batch rank up quests before the COVID stuff, but also even before that, they were moving away from batch rank ups into giving you like 1 or 2 rank ups per event or rerun. This is another reason why reruns are important. But yeah, we did used to get more batch of rank up quests, but now we get less because we need them less. Also, the anniversary ones are usually like 14 servants deep, as opposed to it used to be 7 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Anyway.
Yeah, they're coming out. Okay. Where was I in this? All right.
Where was you in this? I know it.
Okay, here it is. I found it. My main question is, would you prefer buffs to be sporadically added whenever they're ready, or wait for large batches of buffs like the game handles buffing currently? Also, what buffs from this anniversary did you think was the most impactful? Should we answer this as we go, or wait? Yeah, we should probably answer this as we go.
Because they have a question in the comments.
I'm personally fine with, getting them in batches. Because when you get them in batches, you can, you make an event out of it, and it's just literally not out of nowhere. You can actually,
And also, what I was going to say is, I think I prefer the batches because the thing is, this person asked us, do we prefer them, as they're, quote-unquote, as they're ready, or as a large batch? They don't release buffs when they're ready. That's not how this works. They release buffs either when there's an event about the servant, or they decide to do a batch. So, I think I do actually prefer the batches of rank quests, where we, reveal a couple every day, stuff like that, as opposed to just, oh, well, if you want a buff for, I don't know, somebody. Blackbeard, better wait till that Summer 6 rerun. Did they actually buff Blackbeard with Summer 6? I bet they could have.
I don't think they did.
I don't know if he needs a buff, but I'm just using an example, right? I had stuff had to come to mind. It's like how you had to wait all those years for them to finally do the Brave Liz buff in that last, Halloween big remix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool. I'm glad they did do it, as opposed to doing nothing, but boy howdy, we could have gotten here a lot sooner if just every 6 months we did, 7 or 14 rank-up quests.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Also, what buffs from the anniversary did think was most impactful?
Talking about, because with the JP anniversary, that's not done yet. And I don't know what's the most impactful. But the most impactful personally for me is the Summer Ushi, because like I said, MP3. From this anniversary, though, for me, hands down, it's the Unlimited Bladeworks one. That just getting Emiya to guaranteed basically loot back to back. You don't even need skill 10 to do it. With a couple of Castoria buffs, it's pretty wild.
I don't have an answer to this because that requires me to remember things, and I'm not good at that.
Yeah, there were I think there were even extra ones this year, so there were a lot of rank ups. I don't think I remember all of them from this year. I just remember the one to Emiya's projection because I used him a lot during the summer event, and I really loved it.
So, we go on. Comment. Most of the buffs so far have been pretty nice and helpful to the unit, but Jekyll's buff was like offering a band-aid to a drowning man. That is very apt, actually, now I think about it. I feel like Battery is not going to make anyone bring him to fights any more often than he was brought in the past, and I think they need to give Hyde a usably NP. It does not need to be that good, or let Hyde and Jekyll swap using a skill. Although Mighty Chains have made Hyde and several servants better, it's really not enough to make him good or usable IMO. I would ask, how would you all improve Dr. J, but I've already asked that question in the past. I would not like to make you guys repeat yourselves. If you did not want to, I send nice vibes. Wah, 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 wah. Awooga, awooga, respectfully. Also, Food Doctor also loves, please buff Medea. Everyone from FSN, except Medea and Medusa, is cracked as fudge in that review. Please fix Medea's MPs. I just want to free to play single target caster. Come on, please. I've been using Melt as my assassin killer for years now. Frowny
Hey,
face.
I know that feel. Bro, mood.
You died a little there.
Oh yeah, no. I didn't get the Food that Garfield loves thing until you read it out loud. That's probably the most based way to refer to Lasingle. So yeah, that got a real chuckle out of me. But also, totally, I understand the mood about Medea's NP. God, I mean, Melt's cool and all, but she's not a perfect unit. And I also literally just rolled my Scotty, when was anniversary? Technically, it was a month ago now, I think. Yeah, probably. It was first week of July, so it's been about a month since I've had the Queek buffs, so, it's not always a perfect struggle.
So let's move swiftly on. Thank you very much for that.
Also, that comment was very funny because Lucky had that big long diatribe about fixing Medea.
Listen, I'm not the greatest at, game mechanics and design, but I see problems. I'm like, this does not work. And then when I beat it against the wall and it still doesn't work, I'm just like, But. Oh, excuse me. This next one comes from Commandant of the Purifying Force, who says, with the insane roller coaster of event, the 7th anniversary of FGO over at JP that now turned into a Type Moon convention because of other non-FGO announcements and a tease of Protomers with a cross promo, Tsukihime, Melty Blood, and the recent gotcha snafu that happened to NA just recently. What were the crazy worst events that made massive tidal waves that rocked the FGO community? You guys remember over the years, and what were your thoughts looking back at it now? That is literally one sentence. What the actual fuck?
Oh yeah, by the way, we forgot to talk about Summer Summon Banner 3 was bugged. It is fixed now. You were completely refunded your Saint Quartz if you spent on it because I think the CE rate was fucked.
Was it?
Yes, I believe event CEs did not actually have rate ups correctly.
Oh, interesting.
So if you rolled on that banner, and the servant rate ups are fucked. Okay, I heard about the CE one. I didn't know but yeah, no, the rarities were just crackled. Some people got 2 Fujinas from it. I believe Robyn, our esteemed person of Timecodes, who will probably be 2 bridges in the notes, spent 30 quartz to roll a Fujino once, got it all refunded, spent it again to get a second Fujino.
That's powerful.
But yeah, so if I did not hear that the servant rarity was fuckled. I guess this is what happens when we decide to import banners from Korea.
I'm actually wondering if they just lifted off the Korean code and translated it. They couldn't have done that.
I don't think so because Lasengel doesn't run the Korean server. But I do know that the Korean server has had problems with rate ups not being to spec before. So it's just kind of funny. As for the bad times, I guess we should read the rest of this person's comment. Their other sentence.
Okay. I remember the hiccups Apple had caused FGO, which seemed makes sense on NA during Eurofest 2018, which almost lasted a full day, or the 5 days of darkness in FGO JP during the Camelot update. Thanks and good vibes all around.
I do actually think the Apple issue did last a whole day. I think didn't that break everybody's login streak?
Something. I think didn't they do something to try and fix it though, like maintain streaks and stuff? I don't remember. Listen,
I think they paused that they would recover your daily streak. They would re-roll everybody back basically, but I think your days logged in still broke.
Bad times? Oh man. Honestly, game wise, I really don't have bad times. None of the game side fault. There's plenty of times when I do something stupid and I rage over it. But
I think the only bad vibes of FGO are when there has been external error problems, like the unlimited extended maintenance because Apple broke, kind of a thing. Which was also personally as an eternal Android player, I was also just man, this is bullshit. It's fake. Can't turn the servers back on just because some Apple people are fucked. No, I understand it. There's not a lot about a PvE game that we care about fairness between players, but letting other players roll banners and do content when the other half can't because of server stuff does make sense. Also, God forbid if you can let the Apple people back in with that when you're not in server maintenance mode. Who knows? But yeah, most of it is external stuff, community stuff, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's never game. It's always the people playing the game that usually get my hackles up. People yelling about this thing or this other thing. How, this unit's so great, this unit sucks so badly. How the developers are, actually fucking Satan and need to be shot. Issues they have with translation or localization.
Yeah, the big ones to me were they lightened Emiya Alter's skin tone from the Japanese, but that's a whole rabbit hole of baggage we don't need to get into on air again. It's a whole thing. Some people were fucking mauling about Osakabe Hime's localization. Apparently nobody in Japan cares about that though, because that's how she continues to be translated. Keep in mind, this is the staff direction who tells Albert he can't use Artoria. But they don't care about Tsukihime Hime. We care about Altria. Which, honestly, that just puts it in perspective just how little value there is in being that mad about this. I know, Axe, you won't shut up about the official statement. They don't need an official statement. They say it's Altria. That is the official statement.
But no, people again,
also,
that's...
God, for the first... Sorry, I think another reason you're gonna go is, for the first 2 years, there was a lot of bitching and moaning about how we didn't get enough Saint Quartz.
Oh, yeah, there was.
There was a lot of math about, how we're getting less apples in Saint Quartz than JP is.
It's funny enough how they didn't shut up when people even got the math. It's no, we're actually getting more. We get more, maybe not necessarily more, but we got more bang for our quartz.
Yes, our summons were improved and we got more stuff. I think the main thing was there were a couple of bonus events we didn't get in the first year or two, and there was a lot less Saint Quartz for maintenance because launch FGO in Japan sucked. It was very buggy. They had a lot of jokes about extended maintenance, which is very rare over here. I think, honestly, with all the thing, 40 SQ per summon, so, like, it evened out, and I think, like we said, as time has gone on, it has become clear that the whole, they hate us in NA, they don't like us, they don't give us anything, that just became more and more blatantly false, so those people had to just shut the fuck up because they were wrong. We got servant coins a year and a half early. Now, just because that was buggy doesn't mean you can't say that they don't fucking love you.
Listen, I don't care. When the director of the game flies over to come spend like a day in America, literally has to fly 14 hours?
Yeah. It's pretty bullshit. It's a bullshit flight.
Yeah. Just come hang out.
But he comes to sitting up at a panel for how long is that panel? 40 minutes, an hour?
Yeah. And it probably saw some sights.
The man practices his goddamn English so he can sound cool when he records 5-minute video drops for us. Because the dev diaries aren't very long, but he's here for them, so.
Yeah, no,
effort is being made.
Effort's being made, and again, that's the thing I always want to talk about. It's always the people who always get so mad. I can understand people wanting to be upset when things don't necessarily go their way or they don't agree with the decision, but some people just get so vehement and vitriolic with it. I'm just like, why? Why are you putting so much negative energy into this?
I also want to say this. I don't think it's productive to be mad at FGO, but I also totally understand with the extended maintenance and stuff when you're just frustrated by the situation, right? Clearly FGO's not being malicious. A lot of people want to attribute stuff to, especially in this day and age, people want to attribute it to maliciousness. They want to be able to be you're trying to fuck me over. How dare you? That's not usually how it is. Most people are not trying to systemically fuck you over. Systems are trying to systemically fuck you over.
No, someone accidentally left a fucking line break in the code and it broke everything, and now they have to fucking find it.
Yeah, they gotta figure out where the fuck the error is. They gotta fix it, or whatever. And obviously, that's something you can't help at all because you have no control over that. So that's very frustrating. Lack of agency, and that makes people yelly. But you don't need to yell at the game for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe you can be well, why don't they, pay their programmers better to find bugs? I don't know what the fuck their working conditions are like, though.
Also, if you type so many characters, there's just a statistical average of how many fucking errors you're gonna make.
Well,
and how
God
many of them
forbid,
are gonna get caught.
fun fact, as a person who's actually studied some typing to get as good at typing as I am, a lot of typing is muscle memory. So if your keyboard is ever so slightly out of fucking alignment, I cannot tell you how many times I've been writing a lot of the Gensekai PDF. By the way, first episode of Gensekai up now. Go watch. Watch it. Supporters and patrons, you get the audio. Download it. But, yeah, you brought up Halen's Razor. I was just thinking of that. But there are so many times when I have gone to, type an entry on a piece of equipment or a mob or something. Not henpecking, stat blocks or whatever, but just talk a fluff bit. And then I'm I've typed 4 characters wrong. What's wrong? Oh! My hands are out of alignment on my keyboard. I'm off my home row. I'm typing in the wrong zones, and it's just, hold on, let me scooch the keyboard back. Yeah, and God, do they program? No, most programming languages are not that way. But I'm how do they build the game? Do they program in Japanese?
I don't know.
Typing in Japanese keyboards is crazy. I have seen people do it. Just the rapidly clicking through kanji. Ugh. It's terrifying.
God, I always want to learn Japanese, but I am terrified about kanji proficiency tests.
Yeah, it's the kanji thing that kills me. I was just thinking some channel I watched had to deal with a language service, about supposedly it's very flexible. They can build you plans if you're an audio or a visual listener, etc. And I'm oh, that's cool. I really do want to brush up on my Japanese. But then I remembered the times I tried to learn kanji, and I'm just God. But the problem is, I would for to not just as a cool fun thing to do, for something productive, I would have to learn to read Japanese, and I'm just God, that's so much more complex though. I don't know if I got the practice for that. Yeah, the programming languages are usually typed in English syntax, and with the Latin alphabet, it's just you're gonna do it in different ones. But yeah, no, there's so much shit that's just beyond your control, and I understand how frustrating that is so much. Mm-hmm. Seriously, guys, I understand. We get weird shit all the time. We don't really need to faffing about this, but since we're talking about it, let me tell y'all a story about just how bullshit our quote-unquote job here is. I'll say it is a job. It's work. It's work sometimes. Out of nowhere, earlier this week, I got a fucking email from YouTube that they phrased it as your content is removed. That's not actually true, but for some reason, the YouTube gods decided that one of our earliest episodes of What's Up had a link that was not allowed. It's the link to artisandice.com, where you can go buy dice made of, like, real metal and gator bone and whatever. I think they had, like, they recovered some fossilized mammoth tusk or whatever. I don't know why the fuck YouTube thinks this is a harmful link. I don't know if PETA's leaning on them. You can't buy gator bone D20s anymore. YouTube, don't you dare. I'll order, well, I won't order like 50. They're fucking expensive, but you'll know I'll order some to spite you. But yeah, they sent me an email. They deleted the link and were just said that it's not okay. And because you didn't do a community guidelines violation on purpose, it's not allowed. But I'm just like, what a random fucking complete weird thing for them to bring up like 2 years later to shoot me an email and like edit out a link, a URL I left in the comments. I have re-edited it to at least say what the website is and just not make it URL format. But it just like, that's beyond your control shit, right? Like, YouTube just decided, hey, this link's not okay anymore. We're not gonna like slam you or anything because we're pretty sure it's not intentional, but we've just randomly decided this. And I'm like, why? It's literally like, I think it's like What's Up number like 5 or 6. We're at almost 200 episodes of What's Up. That's how fucking old it is. It's crazy. Anyway, we've deep dived this whole community conversation. We can probably safely move on.
Safely moving on, then. So, thank you very much for that. We move swiftly on. This next one comes from Procrastinator, who finally got the start of 1,000 steps. Finally got the start of the 1,000 steps after going through a desert and a time skip. Good vibes to all, and good luck to the people who are rolling, especially Lucky. I haven't got MP5 comma yet. Check back in like 2 hours.
Go to our Discord, join our Discord, check the rule thread. If you're hearing this.
I very rarely post in the rule thread.
Yeah, but I feel like if you got an MP5 comma, you'll be posting about it.
Probably. Sent from my phone that somehow has signal. Well, thank you very much. I will take that look, and I'll use it to power my soul. I'm gonna have to burn a little bit of soul's fire. I get since comma actually does have almost yearly rate ups at some point. I am gonna try and not, go full ham on getting MP5 here. Again, one of the fun things about just playing strictly the English version, I got two. Even if it's not a perfect, even if it's not a perfect 1-to-1, I have 2 years of foresight I can consider my options with. Well, hopefully tonight I will have an MP3 comma, and she will smacketh thy ass, and we move on. So this next one comes from Hassan of the Vacation Time. They say, "Hey, Lucky Omega, how goes the stuff? I imagine you're going to discuss the Nazi confirming the part 3 during Free Talk, so I'll go on with a different question." I mean, I was going to talk about it. What am I going to fucking talk about? Are we going to talk about it?
I mean, I haven't actually studied Nasu's like interviews and stuff, and the
yeah, that's right. There's a bunch of
front to back because there's a bunch of them, and some of them are spoilers. So if he confirmed part 3, that's neat. I personally, because they told us we have at least 10 years of content, I assumed a part 3.
Yeah, same.
But that's good to get confirmation that that's the format we're going for. That probably does mean that part 2 will end next year. If not this year, if they, like, Solomon us and do it back-to-back. Who the fuck knows?
They might. I'm just more concerned. I'm just hoping they don't do, like, a full, break year, I guess I want to say.
Yeah, I hope they don't do a full EOR. I almost said a full Shimosa. Full EOR. That's because Shimosa was the only one that was cool. Shinjuku was also neat. That got us Moriarty. That got us the Subarashi. But, like, that was a long year.
Anyway. What would you say is your biggest banner in the coming 2 year? Mine is probably Morgan, who is a NP5 target as a GSSR only spender, so it's kind of challenging. But I'd like to think it's possible because there anyone else that catches my fancy in NA's 2024, barring Kremhild, and Morgan gets 2 rate ups that year. Take care and good vibes. Wah, 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 wah.
I love that somebody in Patron Chat has a Subarashi on demand. I was gonna click it for them, but that was so loud that it echoed through Lucky's end onto my end. So,
are you serious?
Yeah, that's how fucking loud that old man is.
Wow,
damn, powerful.
That is powerful. Oh, I do eternally cry. I do not have an old man. But
hey, I mean, there's a decent shot in that one. I mean, you have a different plan for the GSSR, but there's that one GSSR at least that's got a pretty easy slice.
I mean, if I somehow pull, MP5, MP5 Summer, MP5 Koyanskaya, MP5 Morgan, and MP5 other Koyanskaya, yeah, I'm gonna go for Moriarty. But I'm shaking my finger, my hand, of 25. Well, actually, I guess 22. 20. You know,
You got some of the MP levels already.
Yeah, but still.
Anyway, biggest banners. I'm gonna be honest. I am also a GSSR only spender, but I don't try to NP5 servants. So Morgan banners are cool, but like Berserker 2, it's a pretty good bet. We'll see what happens. There's a couple banners that I know for sure I'm rolling on. Technically, if you're talking about like next couple of years, there's Muramasa, obviously. New Year's, I'm rolling it. Let's see. Is anybody crazy for summer next year? I think there are some summers I want next year. I also may or may not have to challenge the gacha once again to a boxing match for Summer Tomoe on the rerun. How dare you? How very dare. What's the word I'm looking for? Trom, number 1. The Charlemagne one. That's a guaranteed from me. I will be rolling.
Charlie.
That's like a hard and fast. I mean, the Morgan one's pretty good. Let me start back scrolling benches. Like I'm pretty good with that one. Pretty good on that one. There was no new SSR for Christmas, right? I feel like we asked this question last week. Yeah, no. The banner was Scotty.
That's right.
Big lulz. So yeah, all that stuff's pretty good. There's a second Ibaraki banner there, though, towards that end of the year. Actually, honestly, with what I know about what was 2021 in JP, but that'll be 23 for us. I might actually roll on that. I'd have to decide on that Ibaraki banner, or do I want to try the Ryoma Okuni banner, or some wombo combo thereof. I might. But there's also the Halloween, that's Juxtamole and Zenobia. Lucky me when I try that one.
I might. I'm pretty sure I am.
Yeah, wow, next year in JP, I mean, it's still big because there's all the Avalon stuff in banners, but it is also kind of sparse. There's just a random Tamamo and Hokusai banner for basically no reason. Is Galatea, but... Oh, shit, that's right. Fucking Kagekiyu's... Her rate-up is actually at the Little Big Tengu, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. It's right after Murabasa, too. Yeah, there's a couple of big ones in there. Lucky for sure we'll be rolling that one Summer 6 banner that has Summer Kama in it.
Yep.
Any other, really big... Other than the 2 Koyans, obviously. Those, I think, are tent poles for you.
Yeah, the 2 Koyans, Summer Kama... Honestly, I've been trying really hard not to think about other ones, because I do not want to falter, if I'm going to be real.
Fair enough.
I do want Kagekiyo, I do want Muramasa, but I'd be happy with, MP1s of them. Everyone already knows I am going to be rolling for Ibuki Doji. That's important.
Luckily,
and Jocks.
Gets a couple of read-ups.
And Lady Joxtamoloi is, is channeling the big shove, so I have to at least get MP1 of her. Actually, they need to put her in more events. That's the problem now, is we have so many characters, it's hard for certain characters to actually get spotlight unless there's an immediate story.
Well, yeah, that's why some events have little bits of stuff. They did mention, I know in some interviews, I think it was with it might have been with Nissan, but they talked about Grail fronts, where they are working on their next one because those are very popular. They do like to give them little bits of story, but that means that the dev time gets longer.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to kind of work through a couple things. But there are certainly events where you can get some niches of story. And then, of course, there are interludes, obviously, for extra characterization.
Oh, yeah. I do love them. But I think that's all I can really say.
I mean, you are asking us to flash forward for 2 whole years, of which there are a fuck ton of banners.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There's if you add them all up, aren't there 4 or 5 Avalon banners technically? Some of those are repeats. They're not new servants, but still. It's fucking nuts. I'm very glad I have secured the Castoria on the anniversary banner that I don't got to worry about those reruns.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of the shit. Luckily, I've not been bitten by whatever strange bug has got people interested in Domon, so I'm gonna skip that motherfucker. Pretty sure Watabe no Suna is permanent, so he'll catch up eventually, just like my Odysseus. So many Kirkis. Just if you were to do meme edits of this, you would do some kind of fire background and just have Kirkis rain from the sky while playing some ominous Latin chanting. The screams of the innocents in the background. Shh! Don't say these things. Yeah. Also, Architect, you're saying that to me, and you're mentioning a Tamamo. I would like to remind you that I had to pick Tamamo regular as my ticket, because despite being permanent for several years, and quite frankly, rolling out a lot of Saint Quartz, and I do believe actually spending some of it where she was technically on rate up. I don't remember.
Wasn't it Benny Emma?
Yeah, actually, yes. No, I actually did quite a few rolls on the Benny Enma when both were on rate up. So it's just like, I still had to pick her on the ticket. It do be like that. Hopefully they give me an Odysseus ticket. I think, isn't Odysseus the cutoff for the next SSR ticket? Is he actually on it, or is it just before him?
I think it's just before him. I think.
Well, then I just have to pray that somewhere in part 3 they give me another SSR ticket. Verily, we should continue.
So, we move on. This next one comes from that one comma from that read-up montage. He does not like being in an idol outfit.
Is that the comma of judgment?
Yes. Because, yes, I love comments so much that I made fucking comma stickers. Now I'm going to post them all on Patreon just so I can remind people that they exist. Oh, yep. Actually, I should probably double-check Redrop and see if he got anything else I can steal.
Redrop has been posting a lot.
Did their yearly summer. It was great.
It did have a Resh in it. People are slightly agita. No, Odysseus is not added to this list. I cry every Tim.
But they say, question, have you all made use of command codes yet? I tend to get overwhelmed by options, so I've only added the on-hit bird ones for Yang Guifei and a couple others. Hope you're all doing well. I don't put command codes on everyone, but I do put them on. I basically put them on my my tent poles, so that's Tama Lancer, Tamamo, Tamacan, and Kama. All of them are like full up on command codes. I am one of those weird people, and yes, I will call myself weird on it. I usually attach command codes to the people that they're relevant for. I know it's a little weird, but I'm like, I like maintaining consistent theme. Like my Tamamoa has both the Mirror and the Good Fox Wife command codes.
Well, sometimes those do actually line up, because I'm gonna guess those are both probably arts related.
The Mirror basically gives her a one-time debuff immunity against stun, and the Good Wife one is the one I actually really do like. Will increase self-healing by 50% for one heal.
That's actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, especially with her NP, it's great.
I should invest in a few more. I have also done some. For instance, I have I put the good arts crit command code on Aresh's one arts card, like most people did.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't actually futzed up the rest of Aresh's command codes. I should probably do that sometime. My main thing is I've always been waiting for like that static accumulation of command codes to have enough that I feel like spending. They've been the mechanics have been out for what, like a year now, year and a half? Was it
Something
4th
like
anniversary? I think it was 4th, because we just got a rerun of the faux one, didn't we? So the only one who was fully kitted out was one of my major characters who actually needs to hit people with cards a lot, Jean. I put all of the recovery and self-debuffing and healing ones on hers, because, yeah, that's what she's for. I should probably put some similar Slamma-Jamma on, like, my Castoria, because she will be getting used a lot, both by me and my other people, so I can fish around on a few. Just the main thing is that, obviously, with command codes being limited, it's definitely like, you gotta be, for me anyway, I feel like I gotta be really sure before I stick them on, because I'm not getting that, well, I can just get them back with, like, removers and stuff, but it's like, then I have to actually do a whole separate mechanic to peel them off and stick them on.
Alright, so let us move on. This next one comes from Hugh, who can finally play FGO from the official Android Play Store. They said, "Hi, Loki Omega. It seems that after Lysingle took over, they finally noticed that a lot more people can't understand English and therefore play FGO NA via alternative sources like me. I do really believe that the change from the light's work to Lysingle is the main force of all the recent positive change. What is your take on that? Wishing you good vibes, wah 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 wah, and stay safe and healthy out there." The answer is most definitely yes to that, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I said, back when the light works, they were still, while they had like licensing agreements and whatnot with, Aniplex and through them, Sony, they were still very much a Japanese focused.
They were still a Japanese game dev company, as seen
Yes.
with, like, some of the other games they released. Lysingle exists only for FGO and FGO accessories.
Yes.
Currently, anyway.
And they have, kicked up to Aniplex, which is, a media branch under Sony, and Sony is everywhere.
Hell, not related to this, but there was an announcement that Crunchyroll, which is under Sony now, is planning to acquire Right Stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Weird move, but whatever.
So, I mean, that's definitely one of those. Somebody in a Sony boardroom was like, "Yo, people buy anime merch. How can we? People import anime merch in America. How can we get in on that?"
Well, honestly, it is kind of the same thing. Aniplex did a lot of their distribution through Right Stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing that it's something that makes sense, but it's definitely one of those things of like, oh wow, no, Sony's really committed to this. They're willing to drop money on this. Also, holy shit, I would love an arcade port to PlayStations as well because it's very limited. But like, I mean, if I could play FGO on my PlayStation, I could stream about 100% more FGO. It would be so easy with my capture card setup.
Sorry, Matt, you don't stream any FGO right now, so 100% more.
That is technically true. Well, if I said it added 100%, well, actually, any increase would be adding 100%. Yes. Math is funny that way. Lucky's right; it is funny, but like it would be a superlative amount more FGO streaming if I could do it through my PlayStation capture card.
Yes.
Because it would be so much easier than trying to get phones and computers to talk. Or constantly be switching to an emulator, which is okay, but not approved.
Listen, every time I switch like my transfer code to BlueStacks, I have a moment of agita that something's gonna go fucking wrong.
No,
and this code's gonna
terrifying. That's why I don't do it. I could, but I don't wanna.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It's very scary. Listen, I've heard those horror stories of people's like, my transfer code broke and I lost my account. I'm just like, no!
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
No.
But yeah, no, like, I mean, I will say to this comment about realize that more people understand English, I really don't think that's what the holdup was. I think it was the EU's restrictions on the Play and Android stores about monetization models, the great loot boxing. I've talked before about how I don't know if per a personal definition, the gacha system fits a system of gambling, but it is a randomized system where you pay money, which may fit legal definitions. I suppose that is actually true, Lucky. You probably could just show like Aniplex or whatever your receipts, and they'd just be like, "Yeah, this is my account," and they're like, "Cool."
Listen, do you know what defines an irrational fear? It's irrational.
It doesn't make sense.
Yes.
No. Like my fear of bees and wasps. That's irrational. My fear of the ocean is rational. How dare you?
It is very irrational. Fuck all of you.
Like, I'm not going to say I have thalassophobia. I have reasonable distrust of the ocean. Reasonable distrust of Poseidon.
Listen, Legendary, here's the thing about rationally. Unless you can somehow give me 100% guarantee reassurance that what you say will in no way fail in any form and willing to back up your claim with, your own money, no, I'm not going to believe you.
Yes, in America, FGO is no purchase necessary. So it is not gambling. There have been some investigations into loot boxes by like Congress and the like, but most of them lean towards full-blown pay-to-win is where we usually stop. That's when our government starts to get curious. Europe was a little bit more like, if you can spend money continuously to get dopamine hits, that's gambling. And I'm like, I'm not going to say that what you're saying doesn't have some merit, but I don't know if that's a dictionary definition. What if you just don't fuck up your code? What if we just all don't fuck up our transfer codes, guys?
And Legendary, you see, here's the thing. If it works for you, that doesn't mean it's going to work for me. Something else could go wrong. This is literally what I mean by irrational fear. Unless you can literally get rid of 100% of every single thing that could possibly go wrong down for like the internet randomly breaking in the middle of a fucking day while I do this, you cannot convince me that something may not go wrong. This is literally the definition of irrational fear.
But sometimes you can rationalize a little.
Yes.
I can rationalize all of it.
I can rationalize that my fear is irrational. Therefore, I can usually get through and do whatever I need to do. But I'm still gonna be slightly agitated about doing it because I know something could go wrong. Oof. Yeah, I'm sorry. I read about that, Legendary. That is the oofest.
Yeah, this poor man's dying.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, no. I think the expansion was more to do with some kind of behind the scenes things there. But no, it also, like I said, that Sony through Aniplex bought the FGO arm of Delightworks and made it its own company. This is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yes, you're going to see investment, and they are making big moves. And generally, it's positive.
So, I was going to say something else. Oh,
we got a lot of discussions.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, I remember I was going to talk about it. I was going to put myself on a little box here. It's like, I do consider myself, I am a reasonable and rational enough person that I can recognize my own flaws and understand that they're flaws, but I also understand that I am a flawed person, and I'm not going to necessarily try to make myself fucking perfect, because that's a lot of fucking effort. Jesus.
Well, to make yourself perfect would be impossible.
But some people still try to strive for some odd reason.
Well,
actually has a lot-
those people have their own problems.
Yeah, they do. That's why I always tell people never go for 100%. Go for 80 to 90. You'll save yourself a lot of effort, and people generally won't notice that much of a difference.
I mean, I gotta be honest. The strike zone for an A is a very large one in school, so nobody actually cares if you get 100%, other than maybe you.
Oh, we're on our last one here. Wait, no, second to
No,
last
there's two.
one here. My bad. So, this next one comes from King of Apples, who learned his lesson last time. It is not touching the shiny new Mystic Code. What's wrong with the shiny new Mystic Code? It's shiny and new and mystical and a code. Question: since we know that there does not appear to be a tree fitty in the South American Lost Belt, do you think it might be in the case that David is using Ort as the anchor of his Lost Belt? Since such a place would be disconnected from the normal heraldry, is that why he's able to summon a Grand Servant? No, I think he just literally hit the tree in the fucking underworld.
Also, yes, probably. He probably put the tree under the ground. It's not like the first time that happened. Remember how there was no tree in Atlantis? It was in a time-space hole.
But,
As for the rest of that shit, I don't fucking know.
I don't know, Ort, we don't fucking know. I was actually doing some reading on the types earlier. We don't even know if Type Mercury is actually Type Mercury.
Yeah.
It could be from somewhere completely fucking else. It's huge. It landed in South America. It's a thing. It might show up. It might not. It'll be cool if it
honestly, we've hid all the trees. I think the only trees we could see for sure was Russia, wasn't it? Because Scandinavia's hidden.
What Scandinavia's hidden is?
Yeah. Sky didn't know where the fuck the tree was. It was hiding in her garden.
Oh.
It shot seeds at us, but it wasn't visible.
Weird.
LB4's wasn't hidden? Right, no, LB4's wasn't hidden. It was just surrounded by traps. We just couldn't go there physically. No, I also don't think the seeds thing has ever gotten. It was weird.
Yeah, so...
But no, there's a reason why, the tree wasn't known to Scotty, and, that's why Ophelia freaked out when Surtur ate it, and then when we killed Surtur, the tree popped out of his body.
And then we had, an electric ray tree fight. That reminds me, I gotta go find those tracks on the fucking...
They're pretty rad.
They are pretty rad. But Going Sky and Not Drive is the raddest. I love that they have they have each increasing company, and it just goes on forever. So good. It's so good.
Yeah, and the fact that in the boss fight, they tied it to each break bar.
Mm-hmm. Actually, do they do stuff from I hope they do more stuff like that, actually tie more music to boss fights and stuff.
Yes, dynamic music is the raddest.
It is the raddest.
It's like the new version of fucking One Winged Angel in the Final Fantasy VII remake. It's got 4 parts. Actually, honestly, all the music all the boss themes in 7 are progressive.
They're really
That's why
good.
Airbuster is so fucking cool. Oh my god. Airbuster theme in my head, rent free
forever.
Love that fucking song. Anyway.
So just we can take it from normal S3 by summon a grand. No, he probably just did some hoopy fucking thing. You gotta remember, fucking Marsberry, ye old normal human mage, summoned fucking Solomon and normal ass Earth in the year of our Lord 2004.
Yeah, I think he just had a catalyst of one of his rings, but yeah.
Yeah.
He still summoned the big man himself.
Mm-hmm. Hang on, I feel a sneeze coming. Hang on.
He feels the sneeze. The sneeze is coming.
Oh, excuse me.
God bless you.
Thank you very much. So, and you gotta remember, fucking Wodime summoned the fucking Grand as well.
No. Wodime summoned Divine Spirits.
Oh yeah,
which is another rule-breaking fucker.
Yes. Sorry. I just remember Rule Break, and I thought fucking Grand again.
His literal third servant was Atlas, who was in a tree and didn't show up. Literally don't know what he looks like. He just exists.
Yeah. But no, it's the reason they keep summoning something outside the norm is because of fucking rule fuckery. Rule breaking fuckery.
I mean, I'm not going to say that because there's a lot of beasts we still have to punch. I'm not going to say that there's not yet another beast we have to punch in LB7, but...
When will the beast fight on our side, though? That's what I want.
Well, it's afterward. That's when you use Kiara to kill a tree. Kiara, put this tree in your womb.
Listen, I just want a fight where just Tiamat just rises from the dungeon just to punch something.
I mean, if we did a Tiamat version of the Golem fight, that would be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, it would. Unleash all her motherly rage.
Also, I mean, don't sleep on Gatia. That guy could throw like a bajillion punches. He did a fucking JoJo punch rush. And then Solomon was just like, nah.
It was a complete no-sell.
The game's earliest cutscene type cutscenes. Pretty rad.
It was pretty rad. Actually, that reminds me, did they ever put the Elemental Irie lines in fucking Irisville's voice lines collection?
Oh, gosh, did they? I don't know.
Because that was if you guys, in case you didn't know, back during the Zero collab, the extra thing that you had to do to get your extra Iries is you had to go fight all the Elemental Iries, and each of the Elemental Iries had unique voice lines for themselves. Wind Irie was the most hilarious in my opinion, but again, just those little things you miss out on. Oh, but I do believe we
doesn't
have
look like she's got any extra voice lines. That's a terrible shame. I hope they still have these files somewhere.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just those little things I remember.
Yeah.
But I do believe we have answered this question, and now, we will get to the final submission. And it comes from Turning Into a Larger Whale. And they say, so the summer banner this year were not kind to me this year, getting multiple copies of the 5-star when you just wanted one copy of the 4-star servant. This happens to a lot of people, I'm realizing. And the third summer banner absolutely baited me into handing over my wallet. With that result, I'm looking at my emergency funds with a twinge of guilt. This is what we like to call burning thy soul's fire.
Yeah, no clairvoyance will get you like that.
Mm-hmm. But this brought a thought to my mind. Do your family in real life friends know about you spending money on gacha games? I mentioned this to my stepmom, who I lived with once, and I got the feeling she thought I should pay more while staying there if that's what I'm spending my money on. Have a wonderful week. Hope karma is merciful, unlucky. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. Anyone that you're giving money to pay rent always wants you to pay more. They always do, no matter what.
Yeah, there's living's expensive.
Yes. So no, don't worry necessarily too much. That is literally the standard reaction. And yeah, like I'm somewhat what's the term I want to say when I'm kind of when you kind of poke phone at yourself, like self-effacing or something.
Yeah, self-effacing is
self-effacing. It's like I tell people, yeah, I'm gonna go spend money on my 2D PNG waifus. What of it? And a lot of people are just like, ha ha ha, and I'm all like, ha ha ha, fuck off. Because again, like my parents know I do it, and that's why I say, hey, give me some like Amazon gift cards for my birthday. I'm gonna spend it on my 2D PNG wife, and they're just like, oh, you. But that's what they give me the money for. They give it so I can spend it on what I want.
Yeah. My family has also been in the habit of, for many, many years at this point, before I was even an adult, was just like, yeah, Amazon gift cards. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care.
Yeah, no, like my birthday's this month, and my mom messaged me yesterday. It's like, what you want for your birthday? And I was just like, Amazon gift cards for games, books, video games. I put on a Mala bead bracelet, the 108 beads that you use for meditation. I don't know if I'll actually use them for meditation, but I will definitely, clack them one at a time and contemplate the universe.
Yeah, I have a set of Greek-style worry beads. I do not, ever since we moved, I do not use them as much. I should remember to dig them out. They do actually help me with my anxiety if twirling them, but also it's fun to twirl and clack them. That's why I find it I found it super amusing when I saw you had the 100 beads and the Longo artifacts. I'm like, oh, I'm definitely getting them now. Because I've been considering getting them for real and just wrapping them on my bracelet, getting my monk aesthetic on. I'm not shaving my head, though. I gotta... What day is that? I should get you a little something. When is my birthday? It's the... You should novel, the one I haven't read yet. Maybe sending you another copy will make me want to read it sooner. My birthday is the 23rd. It's a few Tuesdays from now. Always on the cusp between Leo and Virgo. Hey, it happens. It does happen. But, let's see, where were we on this? Omega makes a note because he's terrible about dates. Mm-hmm. It comes with the fact that there's a bajillion people in my family. Our calendar on the fridge is just like 4 birthdays a month. Jesus. Once again, I would like to remind everybody, I am the youngest of 5 siblings. Plus I have, aunts and uncles, cousins and stuff. And then, because I'm the youngest of 5 siblings, all of my older siblings now have several kids, which can get quite extensive. And that reminds me, I should probably get you the None of the Ninth audiobook and force you to listen to it. Well, I probably won't have to force you to listen to it, but I want someone to go on that journey with me. It comes out, next month? Yes. Yeah, it's next month. We're almost there, Omega. So soon. So close. It's so soon. It's not even the end, though. We got another book after that. But, no, my mom,
Me and my mom, we had a like as I was actually growing up and acting a child, we had a very rough time. She was a single black mother, and that doesn't necessarily turn out the best in a lot of cases, and unfortunately I was one of those cases. But in a lot of recent years, my mom got a lot of help and a lot of therapy, and she is literally just a cool mom now. Like, I know I've talked about her, but she goes to fucking K-pop concerts. She's like, God, how old is she? She's like, I'm horrible with dates and ages, but she's like late 50s, early 60s, and she's out there screaming with teenage girls at K-pop fans. She plays video games. She's a casual player, but she plays them. She checks out fashion and all that stuff, and she tells I know I've said this before, but it's one of the things that I hold near and dear to my heart. My mom always says it's okay to be childlike as long as you're not childish.
Yeah.
And she's just like what you like, do what you do, but as long as you're not, fucking it up or doing something bad, does it really fucking matter? I'm just like, yeah, no, that's how I live my life. That's why I collect video games. I read, trashy isekai novels. I play video games, but also I fucking, I work a 7 to 4. I pay my taxes. I pay my bills.
You put on your pants one leg at a time, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's not exactly the same, but my parents are kind of similar. They've always had their own media likes and tropes that kind of pass off to me, and there's a lot of similar to me. My mother is also an anxious person. She really doesn't like deadlines or traveling or anything like that. So I picked up a lot of that stuff from her. So we understand each other pretty well. And my father, his number one pastime these days is he's done he's owned a boat before. He's owned a business. That one didn't work out. That was because it was not a home building, but a home improvement business purchased just before the economic bubble. Very rough one. During the economic downturn, there not a lot of people wanted new floors. Expensive floors, either. But his number one pastime these days, Minecraft. He plays Minecraft on the PS4 constantly. I don't know if he's doing any more in the Minecraft, but he plays the Minecraft a lot. Sometimes he's just in creative building, but yeah, no, he just loves when he got a PS4, because my household has often shared games, because when I was very young, my parents did not necessarily want me to have my game consoles in my room all the time. Seems fair, as evidenced by you guys. I talked to you earlier about how I stayed up to 5:30 in the morning. So we've always been a little bit of a shared gaming household, but ever since you got my poor mother picked him up just 4 or 5 random games, and the only one he plays is Minecraft. Okay. Yeah, no, and we don't really comment on what I spend my money on. If it seems like I'm spending a lot of cash, there'll be some questions like, ooh, what are you getting? But just today, I got several packages in the mail. I got some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and also I got a new compact MP3 player. It's a clip style with no screen. It's for working out and walking. I wear it when I pace around and think of ideas and stuff. Also when I actually on the rare occasions I do actually do a little bit of exercise. But my previous one is literally falling apart and won't hold a battery charge for more than an hour. Are you kidding me? X, my mother bothers me to keep track of my business purchases so I can put them on my taxes. That's the kind of family I live with. They don't really give a shit. But like I said, I got a couple packages in the mail, and there were no questions asked. It was just knock knock mail call. Here you go. I'm like, cool, thanks. Wasn't expecting all that stuff today. Some of that's early. Neato burrito. But yes, no, literally, that's what my family is. Is my. I don't discuss anything. I'm a very private person. Well, with my parents and my family members, because it's sometimes it's awkward with the hobbies. But they don't actually care. It's just I don't want to bore them because I'm not that guy. But it's just oh hey, you got something? What do you use that for? Oh, I'll turn a video into it, or no, I'm just doing this for me.
I'm never afraid to let my freak fly. Never afraid to let my freak flag fly, but I don't let my freak flag fly without someone asking me about it.
What did you get from Amazon? Oh, it's a new book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, pleasant surprise. All the stuff.
Excited for Monday. Has anyone here played Judgment or Lost Judgment? I know they're made by the same Yakuza.
Somebody in this squad has definitely. I don't think any Judgment and Lost Judgment pros down here, but somebody's got to have played those games in our community.
It's like I still need to get through Yakuza, but that's like 6 fucking games, and then Like a Dragon, which I don't know is actually if it's actually Yakuza 7 or not.
I'm pretty sure it is. They just changed the subtitle because they swapped the main central protagonist, though Kiryu is still in it somewhere.
Is he?
I'm pretty sure he's in there
Son of a
somewhere.
bitch. I should just buy the fucking Yakuza collection. I do think they just have a set where you can just buy all the fucking games at once.
It's probably a good idea. Was it a spoiler? I don't know.
I don't think it's
I
really
just assumed he's in it somewhere. I don't know about the details. I'm just like, I'm pretty sure he shows up in there somewhere. It's a Yakuza game. I wouldn't. It's like when they did the prequel, Majima's still in it because you got to put a Majima in there. That's not a question, by the way. Also, I'm like, Majima's in Yakuza Like a Dragon. Of course he is. It's Yakuza. Yeah. Like, I don't know shit about Like a Dragon, but I can, like, think things with my brain, and I'm like, there's got to be some Kiryu in there somewhere. Majima's got to be in it. It's just how it is. Yes, there are some games getting added to PS Plus Premium. Yakuza Like a Dragon is this year's free month.
I heard that the Kiwami 2 is actually...
Kiwami and Kiwami 2 are supposed to be added later this... along with Yakuza 0, I believe, are for sure being added to the PS Plus catalog later this month sometime. Whenever we get a full data dump on that one.
I don't know. I'm just... Judgment and Lost Judgment are standalone. Maybe I can play them before I actually, like...
Yes, I do believe they are. They're made by the same people, and I don't know if they have any references, but they might have some
cameos.
Yeah, some cameos or some references, it's usual. Same world. Okay, so you might see some people, some locations or characters recurring, but it's the difference. Well, I mean, of course it's the same location. It's a real world. It's Japan. It's Tokyo.
Japan. Oh, all
of
shit.
them. Swag. That's breaking news. Shit. Oh, yeah, so that means we've confirmed. So Essentials, Yakuza Like a Dragon. Extra is 0, Kiwami 2, and 6, because those are newer. And then Premium only, because they're the older remastered ones, is Yakuza 3, Yakuza 4, and Yakuza 5. So you can begin your entire Yakuza adventure whenever this goes live.
That sounds amazing. I am getting on this so hot.
Also, they are developing a Yakuza 8.
Of course they are.
But hey, that's still pretty neat. Also, I like this. I scrolled down. I mean, I don't necessarily see if it should be premium. It should probably definitely be extra, because that's the PS5 games. But I see a news from this trend. It's like, Last of Us Part 1 should launch on PlayStation Plus. And I'm like, yeah. You should not make your most dedicated customers pay $70 for this game they may or may not want. I mean, I don't hope no one buys that game, because I feel like that might lead to, like, some people at Naughty Dog getting fired if nobody buys the game. But, like, I don't know what they're expecting out of this. I expect you'll probably sell to diehards. I kind of hope they don't, like, get rewarded for this. I don't want it to break any record sales, and I don't think it will, because I actually don't think that many people give a shit. People are going to wait for it to be on sale, probably. Like, I've still technically never played The Last of Us. If it's on sale, I might, but I can also just play remastered for free. Anyway, we're deep in the weeds. I think we covered most of the bulk of this question. And the answer is no. People in our lives don't really give a shit about our spending. Like I said, I don't disclose exactly how much money I may or may not have spent on a gacha game because that's a little crass unless it comes up. But no, we generally don't flex on anything.
All right, well, now that we're done with that, it's time for Omega to talk about servants while Lucky eats a burrito. Welcome to burrito time, everybody.
Crinkle, crinkle. Unpause. Sorry, we were having a chuckle in the intermission time, but this is something I believe I saw referenced earlier on Twitter or in our fighting game, dedicated fighting game channel, whatever. But there's a retweet. Somebody said that at Evo, the Melty Blood pools started with somebody using a Guitar Hero controller. Truly, you can play Melty Blood anywhere. It is the fighting game of the proletariat.
I remember tournaments in bathrooms.
Yep. You can whatever works, bro. It's great. Okay, but it's time to move on to Chaldea Free Talk, our freest talk in its section. And I have some new servant deets to summarize those new servants for you. Yay. Alright, so this is new servants deet. Holy shit, it's ARC version. But we're going to start with our lovely new little alter ego. We'll build up to ARC later. I'll extend the watch time. I'll get more money. Haha. Never mind that Robyn will probably timecode these separately. Anyway, as our first 3-star alter ego, we don't really have a lot of comparison here. The main thing we can say is that Jufu leans more towards HP than attack. Her attack at her HP, I should say, at 9k-ish something is a little bit below, a decent chunk below our lowest HP alter ego in 4-star, who's like 930 something. So there's a lot of stuff there. She is quick arts buster deck, good hit counts and good NP gain. Probably because her NP is an art support, so she doesn't get NP gen off it directly. It is, however, a 3k to 5k self-heal. It gives you 20 stars per turn for 5 turns. It's pretty good. And gives her self-healing per turn based on overcharge. So, it's a little weird. It's a mostly selfish NP. I think the main purpose is that it just gives you 20 stars per turn for 5 turns, and it keeps you alive, which is useful. Her first skill is another heal. It's a 1k to 2k party-wide heal. It also removes 1 debuff, specifically the latest one, from your party, and also gives the party 20 to 30% NP gain up for 3 turns. So, pretty standard support stuff. Second skill gives the team 10 to 20% arts up, 20 to 30% crit up, and also 20 to 30% bonus damage versus undead for 3 turns, and also enemy crit chance down for 10 to 20% turns. This, by the way, is what Lucky is talking about when he's like, Medea's skills only do one thing. This is another 3-star who has a central skill that does like 4 things, all of which are good. Yes, very the undead one is technically niche, but still, bonus damage. And arts up, crit up, it's good, very solid. Final skill is a targetable 20 to 30% battery, a 50 to 100% buff removal resistance if that ally is Consort U, and if that ally... Actually, no, it's 50 to 100% buff removal on everybody. My grammar's a little weird. This third skill has some U-specific buffs. It's, I believe, if the ally's Consort U, it's 20 to 30% NP damage for 3 turns and 20% battery. And then for everybody, it's 20 to 30% battery and 50 to 100% buff removal. So if it is you, that's you're looking at 50% battery and also NP damage, which is very funny. And yes, that applies to both versions of Consort U, both Yume Rens. It's very, very hilarious. That said, still, targetable 30% battery and buff removal resist that's 100% can be useful. Her passives are a unique territory creation, one that not only gives her a shitload of arts up, but also amps NP gain on hit. Very funny with her healing ability. An item creation, and a literal weakness to Consort U. Literal. Her attack is lowered by 20% versus all versions of Consort U. Yes, the Yume Ren plush is non-negotiable. All in all, Shufu is a neat little support package. I would say that we talked a little bit before about like the NP grid and the different uses of servants in FGO. This is probably more suited to CQs and story clears than casual farming. She does not do any damage on her own, but does have several team-wide party buffs. And again, that crit, 20 crits for 5 turns is a lot. 20 crit stars, 5 turns. She has 2 quick cards. It's pretty good. She can spread your team some heals and offensive buffs as well, and can be used for stuff. And obviously with that longevity, she can give you a lot of stars, and she's not going to break any banks, you know? Consider putting it in rotation, you know, in comparison to, like, Paracalcus and other FTP units. So, now we must talk about Archetype Earth. Arcweed, but cooler. Now, we do actually have some, in fact, we almost have nothing but 5-star Moon Cancers to make the comparison with, and regular BB. Isn't it sad? So we do know for sure that Archetype Earth clocks in at the highest attack for a Moon Cancer, but the lowest HP for an SSR. So, big damage, small HP. Not usually how Saber Faces go, but, you know, she's not really a Saber Face either. That's just Takuchi's art style. I think you can tell from the way Archetype Earth is drawn that she and Artoria are different characters. Takuchi just has a lot of similar faces. But, her NP, Arc's NP, is pretty cool. So, it's an AoE buster. I mean, you can say she's pre-Saber Face, but a lot of people... I should actually check if she has the Saber Face trait. A lot of people say that Type Moon heroines a lot of them are very similar. Just because, like I said, Takuji has a very similar art style.
And it's an art style. What do you expect?
Yeah. Well, some artists are very flexible with their faces.
Oh, true.
But, no, her traits are literally just... Well, the ones that are marked down are just literally female humanoid servant. Yeah, the lines of her face in her first ascension are like, yeah, that's a Takuchi face, but, like, the way her body shape and hair is, it's a little wiggly. The third ascension? Yeah, I guess when you get in that pose, the tall pose and all the extra floof, that's a little bit, that outline is similar to Castoria, so it looks a little bit more. Also, she goes down to, I think she goes down to a single Ahoge? No. Is it double? It's hard to tell. There's a lot of fucking, like, laser beams and glowing shit in her third ascension. I can't see as well. The thing about first ascension Arc, and I think the second as well, but she might be wearing a hat. No, okay, she's got a different pose, though. The thing about Arc is you gotta remember she's got double Ahoge. Double idiot hair. You can make your own comments on whether or not she's a double idiot. Anyway, NP, AoE Buster, and this enacts a special Millennium Castle field change. This is a unique field change. The buff appears on the field screen. That means you can click it on your map to see how many turns it's got left, and while it is active. Because it is unique to the field, it cannot be removed via normal buff removal, but it is dropped when Arc dies. Also, the graphic will switch back when you change waves, but the effect is still there. So, pretty interesting. Her NP also does bonus damage to chaotic enemies and gives battery based on overcharge to living human units, except herself. Also, I don't think she's not marked as a living human. It's just it specifies as people who are not her. Also, fun fact, the chaotic damage scales with NP levels rather than being a flat 150%. It starts at 150 and goes to 200% at NP5. So, really incentivizing you to roll those extras there. Her first skill is a 1-turn skill seal on all enemies and a 3-turn 10-20% defense down on all enemies, and also gives herself a 20-30% attack up for 3 turns. Pretty solid stuff. Second skill is a stonking, by the way. A crazy pants. This is it's so insane, I'm gonna double check that I'm right. Yes, am I reading this correctly? Yes, indeed, that is a 50 to 100% battery on that second skill. Literal free NPs. It also amps her NP damage for 3 turns, 10 to 20%. But no, for a unit that is not a caster and does not necessarily have lowered damage, that's pretty stonking, right? When was the last time... Actually, who even has 100% battery? Like, we talked about how Medea's max 150%. Yeah, no 5-stars have one, that's for sure. Is Kirky like 60 to 100%? I know it's not 150, but I believe it's pretty big. Crane does have an option. Is that for herself, though? It's been a while since I looked at Miss Crane's stats. Okay. It makes sense given her NP is kind of different, so, okay. It's a non-offensive NP, so... Okay, you need 20 stars to use the skill. Okay. So there's a demerit, technically. Kirky's 60 to 120. Okay. I was like, it's not as big as Medea's. And then is Nudicris like 50 to 100? Or is she also 120? I don't even know. There are a lot of big batteries out there, but they're rare. They're usually limited to casters. Even Miss Crane obviously is a caster herself, but she requires stars to use, and also her NP is non-offensive. This is a 5-star damage-dealing unit, an extra class, so you usually have neutral damage, that is straight up 100% with an NP damage buff. It's pretty crazy. By the way, this skill is rank C.
Wow.
Yeah, this is Breath of the Planet rank C. 100% NP up. 20% NP damage up for 3 turns. No.
Well, I mean, it is... I mean...
Oh, no. I mean, it's fucking Archetype Earth. She is one of our high-level, characters in lore to talk about. Her NP is the Marble Phantasm. I'm so glad they brought that one back around. So, yeah, no, the scaling should be big. But still, damn.
Yeah,
Excalibur is the sword of the Breath of the Planet. Yes, that's the power that it draws, so...
Yes.
That's where it gets its mana energy from to shoot big beams.
Listen... Arc has very, very big lore implications that are...
And specifically even Archetype Earth. Even.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Arcoid Brunstead, but also the game is specifically calling her Archetype Earth. The shit is real.
Yeah. I do think they have said, it hasn't been confirmed or whether or not this is actually a... What's the word I'm going to say? Story-relevant character?
Yes, her first bond, the translation is that she is a special guest for the 7th anniversary, so I think they're even calling her a guest character.
Yeah. Because nothing is free.
Yeah. Also, not true, actually. It depends on the Ascension. She has a different personality and lines per Ascension.
Yes.
Ascension 1 is what they say the future, the original form of an ideal world. Ascension 2 is the present.
Isn't that the Runaway Princess type?
Yeah, I think so. It says Ascension 2 is Arcoid from 3 years past a certain route in Tsukihime, Blue Glass Moon. So, yeah, that's actual Tsukihime arc. Ascension 3 is the past, a what if in which the mistake was not made. If you don't know what that is, there's plenty around to go around there. But yeah, the discussion is that she is very clearly a guest character. Yeah, she changes the alignment between Ascensions. There's a lot of extra production value, but I do not, like I said earlier with the commentary about the different anniversary servants, I do not know for sure, and I would not guarantee she is a future story character, because like I said, she is literally being billed as a guest character. As the joke goes, we had to trade characters. Mash got into Melty Blood, so we got Arc. But, there's a lot of stuff going on here, but there's a lot of, they've left themselves a lot of wiggle room in lore.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, third skill, Funny Vamp EX, we know what's up. Gives a party-wide 1-hit 3 turns. Yeah, my midnight tweet. What the fuck did I say? Mash, we're time cops, Mash. You gotta fix the timeline. We gotta send you to Melty Blood, Mash. Because the trailer was like, talked about ray shifting and stuff, and I'm just like, of course, we, the time cops, will send Mash to fix Melty Blood. Because we are time cops. That is technically our job. Anyway, Funny Vamp gives the party, like I said, 1 hit, 3 turns of invul. Pretty good. If allies have the good alignment, they will receive buff removal resist 50 to 100% for 1 turn. And also, if you are on Millennium Castle battlefield, she charges the party's NP gauge 20 to 30%. So that's a 30% NP gauge up for everybody. If your allies are also living human, that will mean that on basic bitch, no overcharge, 100% NP level, you will get 50% battery. So that's pretty decent team synergy. Also, it's no enforcement defense, but still 1 hit, 3 turns invul, decent, solid stuff. Oh yeah, and then we get into the passives. So, Archetype Earth has Mag Resistance A+, Territory Creation EX, Item Construction A, so her debuff rate is good, Independent Action A.
That's what she wants.
And also, she has a unique passive, Original One, which, again, has, lots of lore implications.
I just want to scream lore into the sunset.
Well, it's not just lore, it also is fucking stupid. Though, once again, I would like to point out, this is Original One, rank D.
Oh my god.
Original One's effect is when Millennium Castle battlefield is in effect, all of her card performance is boosted by 30%.
It's just fucking nuts.
Yeah. It's just straight up like, hey, if you fire your NP, which, by the way, you can do instantly, she's got 100% battery, she gets 30% effectiveness on all of her card types. Also, by the way, she's the highest attack moon cancer. Like, straight up solid. Her bonus damage on append skills is versus foreigners. This is just like, we already have bullshit farming. You can do whatever the fuck you like, but this is definitely like, the game's already broken. Who gives a shit? Fucking Arc. 100% battery, 30% up on all cards for 3 turns. By the way, you can reset the buff by doing her NP again. That just extends the timer. Oh, also, I should mention as well, I didn't mention this in my notes, but I should say, it changes you to Millennium Castle battlefield first. So, the 30% is for the same turn as you NP. Basically, if you're Buster farming, Arc is great for that. Like, if you can do that Buster looping trick we've talked about with Coin Sky Away earlier and stuff, she's pretty baller at that. Yeah, it has a little special icon in the field. So, it's... honestly, I hope they find a way to patch all field buffs to work this way, so that you can't debuff them, you can't buff remove them, or negate them. That would be rad. This one is special, obviously, because it changes the whole ass battlefield. But yeah, no. Archetype Earth is pretty cracked. Her attack stat's not nuts or anything. It's just the highest out of the moon cancers we've got, because all of them have been very HP heavy. Jinako is literally the highest HP servant in the game still, I'm pretty sure. So, the Mooncasters have been heavily weighted towards extra thick. But still, you're talking about a unit that's got, crazy good levels. I would say the only thing that seems like a negative, I brought this up before, is, actually, I don't think I did. I may have skipped her deck. She's quick, arts, buster, to reiterate. She has slightly higher hit counts. She has 4s and 3s. 4-4-3, so 4-hit quick, 4-hit arts, 3-hit buster. So her NP gain is a little low. It's only 0.45. So they've got a little bit of compensation. Like, if you want to actually get her NP to fire off more than once in a match, you're going to have to work at it before the buff ends anyway. Mm-hmm. But still, no, this is a rad unit for, definitely for farming and, double arc farming.
Another year, another anniversary where people are going to lose their shit.
I mean, it's already Arc. People are going to lose their shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she's a moon cancer, so the main thing is you need double skill gems. The issue is going to be for people who are saving up now. For people who are going to start the 2-year grind to Archetype Earth, each active skill requires 8 God spherical... Yeah, somebody posted the image. It's 8 God balls, 8 fantasy scales, 12 primordial lanugo, and 9 comet shards per skill. But before that level, everything's just skill gems. So, on the one hand, oof. Yeah, it's caster and berserker gems, which makes sense. But still, that's reasonable. The LB mats might be a little freaky deaky there. That's even more comet shards, but still, you got some stuff. Also, a lot of people joked about the game giving you quote-unquote a free arc because you get so much fucking Saint Quartz with this event.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can get, unless you are a Giga Whale and get all the like bonuses for having every servant or whatever max ascension. I don't think you can get enough Saint Quartz to guarantee the pity rate, but it's a fuck ton of Saint Quartz. So, like, yeah, this is pretty baller. Great little guest character show up. Yeah, how many actual rolls is pity? 300? Okay.
You might be able to.
Well, let's see. It's 3 Saint Quartz per summon, and it's 300 summons. Yeah, 900 Saint Quartz. Yeah, you can hit over 1,000 Saint Quartz with this bonus total. I believe they said that, like, if you get all of it, it's like 1080 or something Saint Quartz. But that means you have to have a fuck ton of servants. Max Ascension. Almost said MLB. It is kind of like Max Limit Break, but that's not usually the nomenclature. So hypothetically, yeah, it was 1135 was the max. So hypothetically, it's a free arc. It's not really, because only the people who would spend money on arc anyway would get that much Saint Quartz probably. But still, it's a fuck ton of Saint Quartz. You get an arc banner. She's great at farming. It's fun. We're gonna have a fun time.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and I do like the kind of difference work they did. Very similar actually to Castoria and some of the other ones is that they have done a lot of different, like, she has a lot of different poses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
God, Second Ascension, guys, tell me if I'm wrong, but do you not think that this pose requires some kind of goblet? Perhaps wish to smash.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
I do think it's more based on Ark's tendency just to claw things.
Yeah.
But nah, it needs a goblet.
I mean, no, she's definitely doing her, like, power hand claws, but also I'm just like, you are a vampire, you've got glove hands. And for comparison, here is her very shiny. Well, those are some good kicks. That's her very shiny third ascension. You can see in her sprite she does in fact have the double ahoge. She also has a lot. She has a lot of ribbons, and also her sword glows.
That is a crazy ass sword.
Yeah, there's a lot of detail work in all this shit. So yeah, no, a lot of effort was put into all this work as usual, both stat wise and you know, in terms of sprites and stuff. It's pretty rad.
I wonder how it's gonna do on the numbers.
What, you mean, like in polls and stuff?
Yeah, and sales and stuff. Because that's what's like
really
happening. They came out with their Type Moon, and it has like all the numbers and the data coming out.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of it, but
I've seen a few.
like,
I retweeted a couple of choice ones that I saw that were based on some conversations we had. Let me see if I can scroll back through all this porn Lucky retweeted. All these Tamo titties. Let's see. Top 3 servants you want to see get buffs: Geronimo, Merlin, Gilgamesh Archer. Geronimo by a high margin, by the way. They got 500 respondents on that. Merlin is 369. Nice. Does Merlin really need... I mean, I guess Merlin, compared to the modern supports, isn't as OP. He really just needs, like, give him 10% more battery somewhere. Well, there's all the number we need. Somebody in chat is saying that FGO jumped from 17th place in terms of revenue to number 1 due to ARC again. So.
This happens, like, every time we get a big drop.
Yeah, every time we get one of those crazy story characters or New Year's or whatever, we jump way up. So, I mean, that still means that people are into it, though, because I'm sure there's some banners we don't jump up. Comments on servants who need buffs, by the way. This was translated by Keita Sean. Please make Karna's NP battery 30%. Kind of agree with that one, not gonna lie. Buff Artoria Rider's NP. I don't know whether that's Maid Altar or Santa Altar, but either works. And then let us use Hyde's NP. So for those of you talking about Hyde, the people in JP feel ya.
They know what's up.
Yeah. So and there's a lot of those translations out there and other fun stuff they're talking about. But yeah, no, I'm sure that they will actually get through, you know, some of those stuff. Though I believe Takeuchi did have a comment on the interview. I do remember seeing this one. He said that that you know, the artists and stuff at Type Moon are real happy, and the writers are real happy with all the response NPCs get, and they understand that people really want them. But he did have to specify that people need to be patient, and that we cannot expect literally every NPC to be playable.
Oh yeah, because they did actually. I do remember this. Didn't they actually have an article showing every single non-playable NPC?
Yeah, I think it's in our spoiler channel. That we can probably. No, there's some LB6 characters in there. We probably should not repost that in the spoiler chat.
Sure.
But yes, there's a collection of like visual list of all the NPCs introduced who haven't been implemented as playable characters as of the time they dropped that, going all the way back to like some fucking old school Gouda Goudas, fucking Akechi's in there, Maxwell's Demon. I think the oldest is Agravain is still on that list. Gives me deep pain. Pour one out for your homie. Let me. Can I open original? If I open original, does that give me just the image, the JPEG? Yeah, here. No, don't save that. Copy it. Here, I'll share some of the images to put in the chat.
Yeah, man, yeah. Listen, Lusango, I feel you. I know there's another thing. You're gonna give me that Tiamat. You're gonna.
Well,
You put her in arcade. You put her in arcade. You put her in the game. That's how this works.
I mean, we're getting Lady Avalon, so we're getting the summer version of a character before the regular one gets out. Yeah, Sita I think is technically might be the oldest because that was America was before Camelot, right? I think that's the order this is in. So yeah, I will say this: at least Sita and Tiamat are playable in arcade. They have actually done playable versions of them, but the Agravain got nothing. Also, Lavinia's been out for a long time. That's another that one. At least I'm like 3-star foreigner, 3-star FP foreigner. You can do it. You can do it. You did Jufu. You can do it. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, they have a big blob of Guda Gudas, but that includes even future Guda Guda characters we don't go on. But yes, there is an entire page in this article devoted to just guys in Guda Guda style events that haven't been playable. Though they also have some Saber Wars in there. And I will say, like, they put, like, Professor Space Tokiomi in here. I don't think he's ever going to be playable. One, he's canonically dead in the story, but also, is there really a big market for playable Rin's dad from space? I mean, obviously that's not necessarily a guarantee on servants, but, like, I don't even know how would you design that character? I'm a little shook at the Liz Japan is not a costume yet. That's a solid one. But yeah, no, there's a handful out there. I don't think that Megaros, the Super Herc from Agartha will be playable ever. Munitaros, I'm very shocked by because as people determined from the game data that his sprite is supposed to be the other way around. So there should be a version where he's on the other side of the screen somewhere in the game. And they mirrored his sprite to be an enemy. So that's, I don't know. Again, don't know why that one hasn't come up yet, but that seems like a very obvious one. Rasputin obviously is on this list, but we all know that they're saving that one for a later slot.
Yeah, they are.
No, Kiara Lily probably wouldn't be playable. I mean, I'd love a Tall Hans costume. That would be funny, just for the memes. God, I remember the original Run memes. There was some like, your therapist. Tall Hans isn't real, he can't hurt you. Tall Hans. Just the fucking over-the-shoulder look.
They got the Marie Alter in there, too.
Yeah, well, I think that's another big one that everybody's really, really jazzed about. Male Kama is also on this list, by the way, to show you how incredibly based it was.
It was based.
But yeah, anyway, that is another thing I remember from the interview is like, Takuji was like, hey, guys, we understand it's very popular. There's a lot of talk about NPCs, but also there's a lot of them. Not all of them are going to be implemented as playable characters. So, and there's lots of other bits and bobbles and whatevers. But we're almost wrapped up. We have clocked over 3 hours on the recording. It is about time to log into FGO. If you haven't logged into FGO today, you have 1 minute to do so. But it's time to do some Finlay business. Obviously, the episode probably won't be, like, actually 3 hours, but, you know. It's recorded there. First big thing is I did indeedly post new polls, so we do have a new Fan Servant Friday poll. Like I said, I was just, head empty, no thoughts, so I just went back and I picked, built a loser's bracket out of people who have in at least one poll done poorly. Sometimes they've done better than others, but a lot of these had at least one poll where they were 0 or near 0. If you want to vote this poll, support us on Patreon at the 5 and up level. You can vote in the poll. It's a single poll. It'll be going on for several days. You've got 12 days left as of the time I'm recording this, and if you can vote in it, you're a patron, so you can listen to this part. So our mix is Jorogumo Berserker, Lamopin Saber, Locusta of Gaul Assassin, Sir Dagonet Berserker. Currently, with about a third of the vote each, Locusta and Sir Dagonet are tied.
Who's Sir Dagonet?
Of the round table. Sometimes Dagonet the Fool, because he's the court jester, but other times he is a noble knight who's just a little crazy. So Berserker, it works. I had some fun time with this one. Jorogumo then is in second place after tied first at 25%. And man, y'all really don't love Lamopin. That's a terrible shame. Her story's great. This Lamopin, in addition to all the dudes she dueled and killed, even though that was illegal, she had to flee France at one point, and the king had to let her back. At one point, Lamopin disguised herself as a nun to enter a nunnery to bust out her female lover because her parents had sent her lover to the nunnery. And so She got a couple of corpses, draped them in their bedding, and set her lover's room on fire and escaped the nunnery. And I'm pretty sure the story just come up later because she couldn't not talk about it.
Well, I'm rolling for common, and that just got me an Orion. You know, Lady Orion.
That's true. It is 1201. That's spicy.
A little spicy. I'm a little angry.
That's a big stunkus. I mean, that's fair, X. I don't know why people pick certain characters other than just, shouting, let's go this. But it's tied right now. I'm going to guess if it's a tiebreaker, if the votes don't go in, though we've only got 12 votes total, which is not a huge slice of who can vote right now. I'm going to guess Lucky will probably tiebreak for Locusta of Gaul because he likes evil women.
I do.
So just letting you know, you have the power to vote in this democracy if you pay me. A pay-to-play democracy. It's not pay to win, though. Well, I mean, I guess it's pay to win. You could keep making Patreon alts and keep sending me more money, but who really wins in that case? It's us. We win. Well, I don't actually know about that, Axe. We do have the other fail portrayal poll as well, and Axe will be surprised to learn that Machina is winning, which is the one he picked for the poll. I think that might just be because the recent Master Duel Festival had that as one of the demo decks you could pick up, so their little time-limited event had that archetype come up. But it is winning 5, which is way over everybody else. So, Axe hasn't even called anybody a coward yet. Alright. But yeah, that's our Fanservant Friday poll. Like I said, I don't have anything cooking on Teach Me's yet. Cause hey, if you want to know about types and about dark and other vampire stuff, hit up the Teach Me archives. We've talked about several of those things several times over and over again. Yeah, you're waiting on trains. You're gonna be waiting a while until somebody says it. Anyway, scratchy nose. Yeah, I think that's all the business. Obviously, like I said, I would love for you to, join us on the Patreon to support and future polls.
Yay, polls.
You can get access to, like I said, audio and stuff early. You can listen to this in audio format. You can download the audio of our first, Genesis Gensekai hack RPG session there as well. It's got at least 1 like, so somebody saw it.
Yay, thank you very much.
1 Patreon like. I think we've got a couple of likes on YouTube. Also give that a like as well. It's something I slam a jam a lot of, so if you like all the time I spend on it, consider supporting us on Patreon and downloading the audio of it. It's only $1. Never mind if you're already in the game, that's fine. Some of you lunatics will be, but Omega, I can already support. Yeah, I know, I got that already. I got that part. I'm talking to the other people if you enjoy it. Okay. Other than that, let's see.
Drowning in Spring Beauty, and I hate it.
I'm not surprised. Well, I mean, for polls, no. You're entitled to your opinion, X. You are still a patron. I'm just talking about, I was talking about the AP support. I don't need... I can just imagine you or Aaron hitting me up on, the Secret Tabletop Cabal, but Omega, I already support you. And I'm like, yeah, I know. You're in the games. You're playing the game supports it. You don't have to support the AP any other way outside of it. Though if you have some friends that you think it might be cool to see you in a YouTube video, be sure to share it to them. But also just in general, if you see a YouTube video we do like this one and it's cool, you should share it. Share it to some of your friends who are in Europe. They might be new to FGO and need a source on their news and stuff and breakdowns on things. Most of our audience, at least by YouTube, is tagged as Amerija, but we can have some reach. We can go other places. We operate in weird time zones.
Well, that's 280 packs and 1 Orion. What is my Orion at anyway? My Artemis. Lucky is slightly nettled.
The nettling begins. By the way, if you want to de-nettle Lucky, consider not only supporting us on Patreon, but throwing us you can super thanks in the chat. You don't have to super chat. You can just comment with stickers and stuff. Consider joining our channel memberships for emotes and whatever. They're still the NA server, so they're starting straight out. They're just in it. The current FGO version. The current FGO version we've been recording for 3 hours. It is now the next day, technically. But yeah, no, right. the NA version of FGO is now available on more stores, is what it is. So it's our current version of FGO that is available to people in all those places that I listed earlier and will not list again. You can scrub back. There's time codes. You can find the right zone. Yes, it's the same day of what's up for me. That's okay. I'm going to sleep. Not after this.
My Artemis Orion is now NP4. The fuck. Again, my luck is weird. I don't get copies of anything once they hit MP5. I just start getting other things.
Oofus.
It is oofus. Now I have to sit and consider my life if I actually want to spend more money on this.
You can help Lucky consider if he wants to spend money by giving us more money that he can spend.
Oh, excuse me.
Or not. I don't know your life. Well, I mean, the pity also only guarantees one period.
Yeah.
You can only get pity once.
I'm going to have to lay down in bed and think about this. I did just get paid today. I will see.
Well, you should never look at the roll channel.
No, you shouldn't.
Though Lucky at least does already have an comma.
Oh yeah, my comma's already NP2.
I was going to say,
I'm
how many NPs is your comma? So we got a little bit
like
of going there.
Like this, that's why I don't have to necessarily be. That's why I'm not having the agita over, and I can't stop because I do have a comma. I just want more comma.
Yeah, you're really futzing around with the NP ratios. You'd like the perfect power.
Yes.
I mean, you want to know the funny thing is, well, I do myself have an NP1 comma. I haven't rolled any new commas. I don't have any Orions. I have a Super Orion, funnily enough. Don't have any of the regular one. FG is weird. I don't know if we'll get it early, but that pity update can't come early enough just to be like, okay, fuck you, weirdness. We're gonna.
Does pity kick in even if you already have the servant? Is it just one time per banner, or is it just one time ever?
Yeah, is it? If I don't actually know, is it per your summon period or is it just per the banner rate up? Because I would assume it's per banner.
One time per banner. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like when you get like 11 rolls on tickets or something. It's tracked per the summon banner. Oh, okay. Yeah, somebody's yelling something. Hold on. We're winding down the show, so last minute reminders are good. By the way, the Gensukai video has 7.
That's
Jesus
a
Christ,
number.
Mafia. Sorry. Okay. So somebody in our Patreon chat reported that it took Mafia 300,000 Saint Quartz to NP5 arc.
That's 30,000, my dude.
30,000, right? I told you we've been doing this for 3 hours.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's a lot of Saint Quartz, no matter what. That's...
Yes.
Hold on, let me divide that by 30. Because that's a fuck ton of summons.
1,000.
Yeah. I'm still going to type it in my... So, Lucky, I went to go type it in my calculator anyway, just for the sake of self-confidence. I accidentally typed 100 and hit enter.
You're tired.
I'm not really tired. It's just, I feel like the language part of my brain is not doing good.
That's usually what happens.
Like, I'm not sleepy at all. It's just, like, we're getting to the point where my brain is like, you've been talking too much, dog. You haven't done that in a while. Because our episodes have been shorter. Mm-hmm. We hope you enjoy this longer episode. Again, be sure to feed all your enjoyment into liking and etc. and sharing with your friends and all that fun stuff. Join our Discord, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not right, because it's 99 cents per Saint Quartz. Per 1 Saint Quartz. Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys to do the advanced math. I've always been terrible at that.
How you doing, no math?
Actually, I don't know what the yen rate is either. I don't know how that exchanges to US. I know that the US rate is there, but he's rolling in a different country. Anyway, it's time to wrap up. I think we've hit all the stuff we want to hit up. I would like to remind you, if you're watching this episode on YouTube, make sure to watch our other live stream, What's Up with Omega and Lucky. We live stream that almost every Saturday, and that's how you get more podcast stuff. We sit around, we play games, we talk about stuff. We do things. So that's a good tune in to catch up with the various news and things on it. Mm-hmm. Spoilers, this one's going to be a lot about Gensukai.
Yeah, it is.
There might be some other bullshit for me to pull out, but that's going to be a big one. And also, as we mentioned earlier, I believe that was on mic earlier anyway, we are still doing our Monday stream series that is currently Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are in the 5th case of the first game. We're getting close to finishing that first one.
Yay!
After which we will take a break and play... Lucky will take over and play Mega Man X1, a.k.a. just Mega Man X.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, like I said, Mega Man X has been ordered. It'll be arriving here Monday, so huzzah!
Yeah, sorry, I was bamboozled. Math is continuing in the Patreon chat.
They don't want to stop.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. So I will do the proper outro now after reminding you about live streams and stuff you can catch up on.
It's fucking happening.
It's hard to me to work my fucking brain meat. Uh-oh.
I gotta share this in anime because... Oh, wait, nope, someone Oh, it's that person. Whatever, I'm gonna post this anyway.
Oh, that's a trailer, so...
Yeah.
That's funny, I didn't even realize... Sorry, that reminds me of a bit that was from a different video about... Somebody talked about role-playing a vending machine as a WoW character, because mages can create food and water. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of insistence about that, including joking about a backstory about extensively being, reborn as a vending machine, and I did not realize that was actually a thing.
No, that was actually a thing. It's actually fairly... I don't know if it's over now, but it came out a while ago. I'm curious.
Makes sense. It's also, that is one of the, it's like the Hot Springs one, right? It's one of those concepts where, like, once you see it, you're never not going to be like, holy shit, there was an isekai where somebody got turned into a hot spring. And you're like, how the fuck does that work? I don't know.
Oh,
I
originally
saw
came
the
out
cover in the title.
Yeah, it came out in 2016.
Yeah. Videos.
Yeah, it's still going.
Ugh. Ongoing, okay. Anyway, there I yawned, so now I am actually running out of juice a little bit. Let's do the outro, because I still have to edit this. Not that should take too much longer. Yes, we've been recording the video for a good while now. I hope that you enjoy it. Please be sure to give it lots of likes and comments. Remember, #FuckDoman in the comments. I don't care what context it's in. You can just do that. So, the outro goes a little something like this. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like, please. Feed the algorithm. Conflate videos in people's minds and in YouTube's mind. Spread the video virus. You can also leave your comments in the section down below. Any responses to anything. Follow up to, news, mailbag, whatever, how you feel about the future GSSR plans, whatever you want. Any comment you like, leave them down there. If you also have done that, you can, you don't have to do that, but I guess I could pretend you have to do that to join our Discord. But also, you can join our Discord. We've got a lot of channels in there and fun stuff. Talk about many things. Many games. Have fun. It's a cool place. Join there. If you are new here and haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button to get more videos. And even if you're already subscribed, make sure to click that bell so you can get notifications for whenever we post a new video or a live stream. Also, consider clicking that join button or the link in the description to join our channel memberships. Get access to membership badges and emotes. And reminder, you can use membership badges and emotes anywhere. In the comments, in the live stream chat, in the community page, anywhere on our channel you can use them. I don't think they have global emotes yet, but maybe someday.
One day.
They would probably need to figure out some kind of universal prefix system, because we get to type our own names for the emotes. I did actually add a couple. I think we got the Behold one and the Floor one are in now.
Oh, sick.
I think we still got a couple of slots left. I have to double check. And who knows, maybe some of the people who got gifted memberships didn't renew. I don't know if YouTube takes away your emote slots for that or not. Anyway, check it out. It's cool. Fun emotes, drawn by Lucky. And also, like I said at the front of the show, and also earlier, I've talked about, supporting us on Patreon. You can get this episode in audio format, downloadable for as little as $1 a month, or approximately $10 a year. At higher levels, you can vote in topping polls, like the France Favorite Friday. You can get videos early. At higher levels, you can listen in on the show live, get on-air shoutouts, etc., etc. It's a fun time. It helps support us. Thank you so much for that, everybody. I roll credits, at the end of the video, all that fun stuff and things. But I think we have defeated the 5 pages of notes. Unfortunately, Robyn's going to have a really easy time with timecodes, because it's just going to be... Anni 7 is just going to be all one timecode. You monster. But I think that about wraps everything up. Chat, are you going to yell anything at me? No? Okay, good. All right. We're going. Good night, everybody.
Night, everyone.
Have fun getting lost.